times, Cole, do we have to have the debate about bat flipping, about showing up your opponents, and people being upset that there are consequences for doing all of those things? Welcome into Wire to Wire. He's Cole Bryson. My name is Diesel. The regionals, some of the final games are wrapping up, Cole, as we speak. A few more to go later on this evening. But sort of one of the biggest stories of the weekend, if you haven't seen this yet, Tolos, Trey Phelps, a hitter for Georgia when they were playing Liberty, jacked a 2-run home run. They were down 1, so they took the lead with it. It's really all they needed because they won that game 6-1. He shows up Liberty like 5 different times while running the bases. And the internet, the sports internet, is losing their minds. How could you eject a kid for having fun? What are we doing here?
That's what we do. That's what they do, not we, not you and I, because we talked about this about a month ago, and we had 1 or 2 texts about it, one or 3 or 30, and phone calls as well. But that's what we do. We don't focus on the actual baseball that happened, Diesel. That's what we sports fans do. We don't focus on the baseball this weekend. Mm-hmm. We focus on bat flipping. Yep.
He jacks the home run. And Cole, and you can go find the video. It's all over social medias. He trots sideways to first base. So he gets about halfway to first base. He turns sideways, does a little sideways trot. Mm-hmm. That by itself, probably not enough to get you thrown out of a game. Then he points at the crowd doing a gesture kind of like this, Cole. I'm not really sure what that means. It's not religious like hallelujah hands, but it's not far from it. He does that while rounding second base. Mm-hmm. Then he rounds third, does a spin, crosses home plate, goes back to the side of the dugout, like right there at the on deck circle, and he starts doing the throwing cash in the sky thing, the dollar bills, y'all. And then the coach loses his ever loving mind when his player gets thrown out of the game. Yeah. And fans all over social media, they're like, this is crazy. Let these kids have fun. How many times are you allowed to show someone up before it becomes disrespectful? Like, how many ways can you show someone up and then have it still be respectful?
Yeah, not many. But that's unfortunately, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, that's where the sport's going. That's where the banana ball is a bad influence, I guess, on the game of baseball. As much as we all love seeing the antics that banana ball does, it's unfortunately growing into the major leagues, college baseball, lower level, high school as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, then go play banana ball. Put on a cape. Put on, play on a field where a home run to left field is like 90 feet or 100 feet. You've seen the photos. You've seen the videos when they played at Clemson, when they played at Texas A&M. Sure. They put the left field home run wall like right behind the edge of the infield. It takes nothing. You can almost bunt a home run in most banana ball. It's gotten to the point where it's that ridiculous. I don't care for banana ball. It's not my cup of tea, but I guess these banana ballers are more influential than we think. I don't understand, Cole, when people know the rules of baseball. They have been taught the rules of baseball again and again and again their entire lives. Almost everybody plays Little League Baseball. You know the rules. You're not allowed to show up the other team, and then you do it not once, not twice, not 3 times, but like 5 times, and people are losing their minds.
Yeah, there's not enough. I don't think there's enough of us on the same page about it. That's why it's not going to get any better. It's sad though that as good as the baseball was this weekend, tweets and videos like that you're talking about all over the internet are becoming as viral as they are. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
And, it's like, I look at Wes Johnson, the head coach at Georgia. He came out of the dugout livid, losing his mind that his player had just gotten thrown out, completely misdirected where that ire, where that consternation should have gone. He had the opportunity to be a coach. Mm-hmm. He had the opportunity to teach this young player how you conduct yourself on a baseball field. This guy, he's a middle-aged guy. I don't know how old Wes Johnson is, but he's probably in his 40s, maybe his 50s. He's been around baseball long enough to know what you can and cannot do on a baseball field. Go grab your player by the jersey and say, what the hell are you doing? That's not how we conduct ourselves here at Georgia. And so he had the opportunity to teach. He didn't take it. He lost his mind on the referee, on the umpire. And now we're talking about celebrations. You're right. Instead of baseball.
It is. It's sad, but it is where we are.
Cole, another these regionals this weekend, they delivered so much.
Unreal.
Number one and done UCLA knocked out of this thing. The number one national seed, they win like 95 games this year. Everybody expected them to be so good that they would be undeniable over the course of the season. Yet, unfortunately, Cole, their season is done.
Yeah, UCLA, I have 6 different takeaways from the weekend, and I wrote them down, Diesel. The number one takeaway for me is what happened with UCLA. And if Tolo's out there, you didn't watch this weekend, if you didn't see any college baseball this weekend, and college softball too, like last night was phenomenal. It was an incredible sports weekend. But Diesel, my number one takeaway that I wrote down that I witnessed, that we all saw all over the weekend, was that UCLA's elimination proves that no one's safe. And again, we talked about this last week. There's a mantra around the sport of college basketball that you have the Cinderellas. It's wild, but the same thing can be true in baseball. And we spend weeks, Diesel, obsessing over RPI and national seeds and who the host schools are and the top 8 seeds and the number one overall seed. And you said it, UCLA won 50+ games, number one overall seed, home field advantage, and doesn't even make it out of its own regional. The reality is, Diesel, that college baseball is different. Even though there's similarities in the postseason, college baseball is different than football, and it's different than basketball. And football, 90% of the time, the better roster usually wins.
Yep.
And basketball, the better roster usually wins a tournament game. Obviously, there are Cinderellas, but the better roster usually wins. In baseball, one bad pitching performance, one bullpen collapse, Diesel, or one ace getting shelled, and you're done. So the gap, my biggest takeaway with UCLA this weekend was the gap between the number 1 team and the number 25 team in college baseball is a lot smaller than fans realize.
Bye-bye, Coastal Carolina. See you later, UCLA. Arkansas is done. Louisiana done. They better check to make sure Mississippi State didn't also take their wallet. 19-5 loss in an elimination game. That's pathetic.
Let me ask you this, though.
Pathetic.
You just mentioned Coastal, and this was one of my takeaways too. But the question is, was Coastal ever in the postseason? Did it feel like they were really ever in the postseason?
They limped in.
Yeah. All we talked about was their coach going to Carolina, and obviously we're still tracking that. But It didn't feel to me, and we talked about it Friday, it didn't feel to me like Coastal was a serious threat, Diesel, to make a run this year.
I mean, Kevin told us last week. He talked about his pitching staff and his hitting. A lot of injuries, didn't really come into this thing with the team that he wanted to be able to come into it with at this point. I mean, I guess you could say congratulations for making it this far and having the season that you had.
Still a good year.
Even with an injury-plagued roster. But you're right. I mean, they struggled down the stretch mightily in the last couple games of the regular season in the Sun Belt tournament, and they could not square it away. They could not get it tied on before getting into postseason play. And, I know that if Jeremiah Donati is in talks with Kevin Schnall, if he is in talks with his agent, something like this shouldn't have much of an effect on whether or not you're going to hire him for the job, Cole, but it does sort of make you question, did he get this far last year? Did he make it to the national championship series last year on the strength of Gary Gilmore's kind of aura? It makes you really question, is Kevin Schnall that dude by himself? Did he just did he get the keys to a Ferrari and drive it as far as he could last year?
Well, I think a couple of things can be true there. I think he obviously, and I think he would tell you he benefited off of Gary Gilmore first and foremost. I asked him last week about his routine, Diesel, like everything that he does in the postseason. He's told us that everything's based off of what he learned 23 plus years, whatever it was, with Gary Gilmore. So I think a couple of things can be true. Number one, he, of course, has benefited, but I think he does deserve a lot of credit as well. So we'll continue to talk about the Gamecocks, Schnall. Not a lot right now. A couple of reports out there that, the feeling around the feelings are feelings.
That's not really much new.
No, there's not. Yeah. I want to say this real quick, though, before we move off of UCLA. I saw on Twitter over the weekend a lot of conference smack because UCLA, and I'm going to put this in air quotes so the Buckeye fans don't get mad at me, but I saw a lot of tweets that UCLA wasn't tested, that they weren't tested. And I don't know if that's true because, look, is the Big Ten, is their conference the absolute best in baseball? maybe not. But at the very beginning of the season, Diesel, this team, this UCLA team, they started with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, they just went on a ridiculous tear. But then they played in the Amagi Bank College Baseball Series back in February. They beat Tennessee 12-5. Mm-hmm. They beat A&M 11-1 in 7 innings. They beat Mississippi State, who was number 4 in the country at the time, 8-7 in 10 innings. Now, in conference play, they made quick work of some teams. They took 3 from Ohio State. They swept them. They swept Michigan. They were really good throughout conference play. Again, when you look at their conference record, they were incredible this year, only losing 2 conference games, 28-2. Even though their conference isn't the SEC, I'm going to stick up for the Big Ten here. I do think this UCLA team was plenty tested. I just think there's something to be said, Diesel, like we've talked about in baseball. Sometimes it's not clicking at the right time. You run into a little bit of an error here, error there, like we talked about. Baseball's a funky sport, man.
Could have been a little getting high on your own supply,
Maybe.
Feeling good, feeling comfortable being in your home stadium. Maybe being a little too comfortable being in your home stadium. Speaking of being comfortable in your home stadium, Cole, the Tallahassee Regional, man, they certainly ruffled the feathers of Kevin Schnall, head baseball coach at Coastal Carolina, because of how the transition from active gameplay to rain delay to active gameplay to rain delay to are we going to play this thing or not to cancellation, we're going to push this thing to tomorrow, postponement, we're going to push this thing tomorrow. It got Kevin Schnall really upset. And the question is, Cole, does he have a point? Does Kevin Schnall have a point? Because here's how this whole thing went down. Here's the timeline of how it went down. 2:00 first pitch on Saturday. 3:15, so they got an hour and 15 minutes into the game. Rain came through, stopped the game for 2.5 hours. 5:45, they get the game going again. 30 minutes later, another storm comes through, and apparently this thing was visible on the radar, but it's late May in the South. Rainstorms just pop up all the time. You literally can't predict it. I mean, it was beautiful this morning, and then we have an hour of heavy dark clouds come in, dumping rain, and now the sun is trying to push back
in 30
out.
minutes here.
Right. You just cannot predict this kind of stuff.
Especially in Florida. If you've ever been to Florida, right. It rains every 5 minutes.
In case you didn't know,
Florida
is a steamy state. 8:35, the NCAA suspends the game, and they push the rest of it to Sunday morning. 6th inning, Florida State was up 2-1. Kevin Schnall gets really upset with the way the NCAA and the home team grounds crew handled the decision to push this thing. And he says it wasn't fair the way his team was done. Listen to Coach Schnall.
Coach, you mentioned the tarp last night. Just the way things were handled in terms of calling the game off of it. Was the field playable in your opinion? Like, how did you think they went about making that decision ultimately?
We talk a lot about student athlete wellness. We were eating dinner at 3 a.m. We showed up here at 11:30. Right. Again, this is part of hosting a regional. That's the value of hosting a regional. Well, you go in a rain delay. If you're the home team, you shower, you clean your uniform. Can you imagine the way our guys felt in that uniform? Wet, sweaty. But you got my picture, right? Not comfortable, itchy. How many times can we go down, get back up, go down, get back up? And it got to the point where it said, enough is enough. I mean, you can only eat so many wraps. It was mismanaged, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Utterly mismanaged.
I don't know about you, Cole, but I love wraps.
That's
wraps
the quote of all of the words that he said there. That's the quote. You can only only eat so many wraps.
I mean, look,
God,
I don't know if Coastal only brought one change of clothes to the game. I mean, you go in for a rain delay. I think you can look at the forecast and say, hey, it's going to be rainy for the next hour or so. Hey, everybody, let's strip out of our uniforms and throw them in the dryer real quick. You can throw on some shorts, some sweats, whatever you got. That way we can get you dried back out and put you back out there. But Coach Schnall was upset that his guys had to sit there essentially in wet jerseys for 2.5 hours in the first rain stoppage. And it was itchy, man.
Yeah, and you know what? Look, is he wrong that it was mismanaged? I don't think he was wrong. I don't think he's wrong there. It could have been mismanaged, but I'll also tell you this. Tallahassee, if you watch the college baseball regionals this weekend, Diesel, as you and I did, and a lot of our Tolos out there in the audience did, newsflash, Tallahassee wasn't the only regional that got rain this weekend.
Yeah.
It was a lot of regionals, a lot of delays. The Citadel, did you see they dealt with the same thing? They were in the Georgia Tech practice facility playing football, kicking field goals, having fun, staying loose. And I get every situation's different. And like I said, maybe he's not wrong. Maybe it was. I'm not disagreeing that it was mismanaged because it clearly might have been, and he knows more details about how it was managed than we do. But I just saw so many rain delays this weekend. It makes me answer your questions by saying, well, he wasn't the only one dealing with it.
Does he know that Florida State went and took showers and got into dry uniforms? Does he know that, or is he just guessing? Because it sounds like a lot of complaining.
And it's not like Florida State was, by the way, mind you, Florida State had lost the day before in their own regional, remember?
Right.
So it's not, I mean, I don't know if you can sit there and say, well, Florida State was doing this, doing that on purpose. They had lost the day before. So, look, I hate it. And yeah, guess what? You lost the game, so it makes it tough. But if he would have won if Coastal were still alive right now, would we be having this conversation? I don't know.
I think there's a lot of playing a little uptight, feeling a little uptight over the course of this series, uncomfortable, and that sort of just makes things snowball. Now, I did see a lot of fans from all over the SEC saying this guy's a clown. South Carolina should stay away from him. Look, I think he's going to fit right in with the SEC. There's an air of superiority in the SEC. There's an air of my poo-poo don't stink. So it leads to a lot of complaining, and we should have it our way. And I think Kevin Chenal is going to fit right in at South Carolina if he takes the job.
I'm not saying he's not a likable guy. He is a kind of like you said. He fits the mold for a baseball coach. He fits the mold for a baseball coach. Gritty guy, shoot straight with you. That's the way he was when he was on with us last week. He's a very straight to the point kind of guy. He's not the jokey, dabo kind of feel good, funny guy. He doesn't have that personality, Diesel, at least a lot in a lot of his interviews that we hear and we've seen on TV. Look, I'm not saying he's not a nice, fun guy. He's just he comes across as that hard-nosed, maybe a little old school, learning from Gary Gilmore approach, which is fine. If it wins, perfectly fine. It is interesting, though, when you talk about losing games, obviously you're a little bit more upset about every single thing when you lose than compared to winning.
Speaking of upset, Cole, I think NC State has reason to be upset. They lost a game and were eliminated in a game against Auburn. They were probably going to lose that game anyway, but they were eliminated on a called strike 3 on a pitch clock violation by the hitter.
Ooh.
Which I don't understand. Like, I wasn't watching the game live. I've seen about 4 different camera angles of this, and every single camera angle, I see Christian Serrano in the batter's box with at least 5 seconds to go on the clock, standing still, which means he had been in the box and he got himself set. Because, every player, they got to touch the bat to the far corner of the plate. Then they got to touch the bat to the near corner of the plate. Then they got to do a couple of little wrist limber ups, and they got to get the bat up on the shoulder. So he was in the box for a while. And I think they got hosed here. I think NC State got hosed here, and they called strike 3 on a technicality of a pitch clock violation.
That's tough, and then you hate losing a game that way. I mean, if it happens in the middle of the game, it's something you get over.
Right.
But losing a game's upsetting. Losing a postseason game
ended their season and ended head coach Elliott Avent's career because he retired.
Yeah, he'd been there for 405 years, I think. And that sucks.
I didn't like it.
Quite blunt.
I didn't like it. I thought it was a little preemptive, a little early, because again, I saw the batter in the box ready to go. Yeah. I saw the pitcher standing off to the side of the rubber. So to me, the pitcher was the one who wasn't ready. The batter was ready. But hey, what do I know?
By the way, Diesel,
I just trust my eyes.
Yeah, really. St. John's has defeated Florida State today, 5-4. That game has gone final. Woo. Speaking of Florida State,
FSU.
Yep, 5-4 final there.
Oh no!
Georgia Tech and Oklahoma just started, underway now in the bottom of the first inning, scoreless between Georgia Tech and Oklahoma. At 6 o'clock tonight, you've got Milwaukee, Auburn, Troy, Florida, Kentucky, West Virginia, and at 9, you've got USC versus Texas A&M. I think that's going to be a really good game too. 2 40+ win teams on the season, rounding out the regionals. So a lot of good baseball already. A lot more baseball to come tonight, this evening. It's going to be a really good night for college baseball. And like I said, man, that college softball, if you didn't watch any of that over the weekend, Diesel and I had it on Thursday and Friday here in the studio. College softball is just as electric. I mean, that stuff is fascinating. That game just so many good games. It's hard to beat college softball. College postseason, whether it's baseball or softball, Diesel, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Hey, a huge NFL trade today, just hours ago. We're going to dive into it. What happened? In case you did not hear, we're going to go to the NFL, a blockbuster trade. We want to hear from you, Tolos. Hopefully you're not a Cleveland Browns fan. If you are, brace for impact. We'll get into it next.
on the Fan Upstate.
Well, Diesel, if being a Cleveland Browns fan wasn't already difficult enough, it's more difficult today. In case you've been under a rock, the Cleveland Browns made a trade. Now, surely, Diesel, this team didn't trade away their best player, right? They didn't do that. And I'm not talking about Shedeur Sanders. I'm not talking about the best player, Shedeur Sanders. I'm talking about Myles Garrett.
Yeah, because everybody knows the Cleveland Browns are known for brilliant personnel decisions.
Brilliant personnel decisions continue on this first day of June. By the way, happy June. Where did this year go?
Oh, gosh.
Good Lord. It's
Cole,
June already.
I am so glad that you just fell into that trap. I'm so glad you just did that, Cole, because we get this prep service company that sends us stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. Use it a lot over on the 93.3 The Planet side of things. This, what you just did is not uncommon. Can you put me back on the air? You're not the only one to do this.
It is June 1st.
Cannot believe it, can you?
Can you believe it is June 1st already?
Hard to believe it's June already, right? Hard to believe June 1st is already here.
Hard to believe today is June 1st.
I can't believe it's already June.
Can you believe it's June 1st already?
It's hard to believe it's June 1st.
Hard to believe it's June 1st.
I can't believe it's June.
I know, June 1st.
I cannot believe it's June 1st.
Cannot believe that it's already June 1st.
That was really bad. I really wish
everyone does this.
I'm so glad you played that. Now I feel like an idiot. Honest to God, I did not hear that before I said that.
Really?
No, I
you
didn't
don't watch
hear
a lot of local news then.
No,
because they all say the same thing.
Well, you know what? That's funny. That's a great montage. Yes, the year has gone by really fast, like really, really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like yesterday was New Year's Day. No, I didn't want to sound like every other news or sports anchor out there. So, dang it. But guilty. I did. I am guilty.
Bong, bong.
Diesel, the Cleveland Browns, breaking news, have agreed to trade two-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett to the Los Angeles Rams for two-time Pro Bowl pass rusher Jared Verse and multiple draft picks, sources told NFL Network's Ian Rappaport and ESPN's Adam Schefter. The Browns will also receive a first-round draft pick in 2027, a second-round pick in 2028, a third-round pick in 2029, sources told ESPN, in what will be one of the biggest trades in NFL history involving a defensive player. The shocking trade, Diesel's completely on brand for the LA Rams, who were famous for saying F them picks,
F them
right?
Picks.
They did the same thing in 2021 when they traded for Matthew Stafford. They ended up winning the Super Bowl, so it was worth it, right? And the Rams are once again, with the SoFi Stadium that they play in being set to host the Super Bowl this year, they're once again wanting to play in their own stadium.
Oh.
And the Rams' interest in Myles Garrett was sparked, Diesel, shortly after the Browns modified the contract of the Pro Bowl defensive end back in March. What they did was they pushed back the option bonuses from the 15th day of the league year in March to 7 days before the start of the regular season, making it easier to trade him. And the Browns have come out and said since this trade that they were adamant that they had no interest in trading Myles Garrett, and even told that to the Rams. But what they once said ended up not being true, as Myles Garrett, my gosh, what a huge trade, a good player. Now, how does this Rams team look with Myles Garrett on the defensive end?
Well, remember, it wasn't that long ago. It was December of 2024 when Myles Garrett said he didn't want to be in Cleveland. He didn't want to be there anymore. He made a request of a trade on February 3rd of 2025. So it's been just a little over a year that he requested to get out of his contract in Cleveland. Now, he's still an amazing football player, and he's still played incredible football last year, even if he's not he's not happy. 23 sacks, 17 assisted tackles, 43 solo tackles. He was amazing.
That was just last year.
Yeah,
That's
that was
insane.
just last year. As a matter of fact, that was by far his highest sack production of his entire career. The most he'd ever had in a season prior to that was 2021 with Cleveland. See, a lot of people are giving him a hard time, are giving the Browns a hard time. I think this was a brilliant trade for the Browns.
Really?
It was. I just don't know that they got enough.
Okay.
Like I thought that they got a pretty good haul for a guy that's now been in the league, Cole, for 9 years. He's been in this league quite a long time. Myles Garrett getting a little bit older. And yes, he's still playing great football, but there's no guarantee that as he's continuing to age at the age of 30 now, 31, 32, 33. Will he still be the same Myles Garrett at 32 or 31 that he was, a couple of years ago?
Well, the good thing is with all of the draft picks that they did get, the 3 picks, it might be 2 to 3 years from now, Diesel, before we know who won this trade. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And look, Jared Verse, we all know. Let's stop the press for a second. We know that Jared Verse is a good player. He's not the same player that the Cleveland Browns just traded away. Jared Verse had 35 tackles in 2025, 36 tackles in 2024, 7.5 sacks this past season, though. Pretty good numbers there. 4.5 sacks a season ago. But when you look at the career stats of Myles Garrett, the future Hall of Famer, you talked about what he did last year. 125 sacks currently, which ranks first in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
413 quarterback pressures, which ranks first in the NFL. 239 quarterback hits, which ranks second in the NFL. Tackles for loss, 149, first in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Forced fumbles, 23, third in the NFL. So this guy's a future Hall of Famer, incredible player, and maybe the best defensive player in the NFL. So you talked about what Cleveland did there. It kind of is. It's kind of similar to the Micah Parsons trade a little bit, Diesel, with what happened. And Shane Barrett sent me that screenshot of me with my hands, my head and my face back in August when Micah Parsons got traded live on the show. You remember that? I think it's similar to the Micah Parsons trade in a way because we know the impact kind of player that Myles Garrett is. But if Cleveland can do what Dallas did and make those picks fruitful and maybe even turn them into a trade, who knows? There's a scenario in Diesel, and I hate to say this because it's not derogatory toward Myles Garrett, but there is a scenario in which Cleveland could win this trade if you're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland, they got a decent amount of draft capital for him. That's not to say Cleveland's going to use it wisely.
No.
Cleveland has really never used their draft capital wisely. They've never done a good job in the draft. That's why they are a perennial middle of the pack to bottom feeder. Every now and again, it seems like, they're going to pop up and be good. And then they make a terrible decision and you draft for the wrong quarterback. And then they are back at the bottom of the league again. They are essentially a developmental team for the rest of the league. I think if they are smart, and now they got a new head coach this year, Monken, was it Jeff or Todd? Todd. Jeff Monken's the football coach at Army. Mm-hmm. Todd Monken and crew, the GM, they might be able to turn this thing around. Eventually, you're going to land on a quality combination of coach, GM, and ownership there in Cleveland that will get things figured out. But when you are as bad as they've been for years, sometimes you got to move on from that really good piece, because that one piece, as good as Myles Garrett has been, is not enough to win you more games by himself.
No, but Cleveland will also save about $30 million in cash from this one trade.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're fully prepared to pay Jared Verse when the time's right. By the way, this is a homecoming for Jared Verse. He was born in Dayton, Ohio, so a homecoming for him. But now for the second year in a row, Diesel, the Browns will have 2 first-round picks, and they currently are scheduled to have 11 picks in the 2027 draft. That's coming up in April, 11 months from right now, right? Including 3 fourth-round picks, 2 fifth-rounders, and 2 seventh-rounders. They will be primed to move the draft board if there's a player there. So I know we laughed at Cleveland. I know we laughed at Dallas when they traded away Micah Parsons. But you've got, Diesel, 11 picks in April's draft. 11! That's insane. That's probably number one without me looking right now of who currently has the most amount of picks. Having 11 picks plus saving $30 million in cash. Yes, you lost Myles Garrett, and he is a tremendous, the best in the NFL at what he does. He last year set an all-time single-season sack record, and like I said, might be the best defensive player in football. But he's also under contract through 2030. Mm-hmm. And the Rams, I think they were kind of in a tough spot trying to figure out which one of their defensive studs they were going to pay. Could it work out for the Rams? Sure. They could say F them picks and they could go win a Super Bowl this year. They've got a Super Bowl caliber team. They scored 1 million points a game last year. And we saw them make a pretty deep run last year. But what's the NFL stand for? Not for long. We know that just because you were there last year doesn't mean you're going to be there this year. And And Diesel, could it work out? Yeah, but I think I don't know if I would go 50-50, but I think I would also say that it could bust just as easy as it could have worked out.
Now, turning this thing around for the LA Rams, I mean, it feels like a home run hire, right? It feels like a home run get. This is a strategy that you've already been successful with. You bring in a guy, maybe he feels rejuvenated, right? I mean, how much better can you get than 23 sacks in a season? I don't know.
You're going to LA.
And you're going to LA where you're going to a team that is an instant, right out of the box Super Bowl championship contender.
Yeah.
Something that Myles Garrett's never had before.
No.
So I like to pick on both sides, or the trade on both sides. I think it was phenomenally done.
It was. Look, again, you have young standouts with this Rams team like Byron Young and Kobe Turner, and now you add this guy. So you had some contract issues coming up, and I think the Rams probably knew it would be challenging to pay all of them. So now they're expected to have, the Rams are, speaking from the Rams side, they're expected to have Garrett under contract for the 4-year, $160 million extension that he signed last offseason. It also includes a no-trade clause, Diesel. He is now waiving for this trade, but he will also have in his Rams contract. And the reports are that he will be flying to Los Angeles Tuesday to begin to get acclimated and trying to figure out a time to bid goodbye to Cleveland. But it's huge. I think when you look at the Rams, this team's stacked. So what did we say last year, and what did we even say a few months ago? It feels like there are a couple teams in the NFL that have no excuse. The Baltimore Ravens, right? They made a head coaching change. You've got a stud defensive player. We remember what happened back just a few months ago, Diesel, with the Baltimore Ravens, and a trade that almost happened and ended up getting another guy in Trey Hendrickson, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got two teams, in my opinion, right now, in May, it's not May anymore, it's now June, that you feel like have no excuse. And I think it's the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Rams. If you wanted to make an easy cookie-cutter prediction, you could say on paper, you could very well see the Rams and the Ravens in the Super Bowl, because on paper, they've got the two most talented rosters in the National Football League.
Yeah, just like I said, great trade all around. I don't know how much more you could hope to get if you are the LA Rams.
The Rams moved, by the way, sports books have quickly reacted. DraftKings moving the Rams from 8-1 to 13-2 odds to win the Super Bowl. The Rams are the only team with Super Bowl odds shorter than 10-1 at DraftKings, and are now even money favorites to win the NFC West, a very good conference. So reacting pretty quick. And again, less than a year ago, Cowboys traded Parsons to the Packers for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. The Jets traded cornerback Sauce Gardner to the Colts at the deadline. Remember that? The Raiders traded Max Crosby to the Ravens in March. The deal was nullified. He failed a physical. So this is not the first time a trade like this has happened, but it's definitely a blockbuster type trade because of just how good the player is. And time will tell who won the trade. Maybe if the Rams are holding a Super Bowl trophy this year, there's proof that they, in fact, won the trade.
Yeah, a little more news for you. The New York Giants have signed Odell Beckham Jr. We hadn't brought that up.
Yeah.
This was reported about 3 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago. OBJ is a Giant.
That's interesting. I mean,
they're needy. They're wide receiver needy.
Yeah.
He's not OBJ of old, but I'm sure he's still going to be pretty good. And
homecoming, right?
Yeah.
A little homecoming from him. And we'll see. By the way, also NFL related, Russell Wilson leaving the NFL for a CBS job. Did you see that?
I didn't, but I think he'll be good at it.
Yeah, quarterback Russell Wilson finalizing a deal. Diesel to become a CBS Sports analyst. League sources told ESPN today. He was offered some from the New York Jets to back up Geno Smith, but Russell Wilson heading to the TV set.
He's going to have the crew doing high knees before kickoff. I guarantee it.
Yeah, let's ride.
Guarantee
let's ride, he said.
When we come back, Cole, I love this. We reported this last week. We reported on this, the kind of growing feud between Texas and Texas Tech. Remember Steve Sarkisian? He said something about somebody's mama. Texas Tech said, all right, little bro, let's play. And now, Cole, the director of the Board of Regents at Texas Tech has gotten involved and he threw. I don't even know if we can say this word on the radio. Can you look at the rundown and tell me if the word that's highlighted is something we can say on the radio?
You're asking me. Yeah, I think. Look, you're asking, number one, the wrong person. I don't have the FCC guideline book in front of me.
Well, our boss is out of town this weekend.
I would say
nutless. He called the Texas football program nutless. We'll play the audio and laugh about it next. Never have Texas State and Tarleton State, Cole, had the opportunity to bend two of the biggest programs in the state of Texas over a financial barrel the way they have right now. And I hope they take the opportunity. If they're smart, they'll take the opportunity to do just that. What exactly am I talking about here, Tolos? At 3:47 on Monday the 1st. There's been a lot of back and forth, hemming and hawing between the University of Texas and that other school in the state that plays a weak schedule that they're pretty sure that Texas could just run over roughshod and could make the CFP with that schedule. Sarkisian took a shot at Texas Tech last week, and Texas Tech fired back and said, hey, bro, you want to play? Let's play. Just so happens to be that both schools are playing a mid-major or FCS, a G5 or an FCS team that week. I think, Cole, it would not be that hard to offer some cash to these other schools and turn this thing around in a matter of like 3 months.
Yeah.
And get this game on the schedule.
Between the two.
Between Texas and Texas Tech.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. My memory's not great of past conferences. 10 years ago, would this have been a conference game?
Yes, it would. It would have been a conference game. So
dang, I missed that.
Texas Tech is very used to going to Austin to play games. And Texas is very used to going out to Lubbock to play games. Or they could play a neutral site game in Dallas. I don't think it really matters, Cole. But it's gone past the hey, let's play each other. Let's make this happen. And now Cody Campbell, who played football at Texas Tech and is now director of the Board of Regents at Texas Tech, has hit the Longhorns where it hurts the most. He was on the Pat McAfee show talking about this.
How much are you behind this? What is the likelihood of this potentially happening? And this would be excellent. Is this even legal to happen at this stage of things?
Well, so, you and I talk a lot about Texas, and but I don't know if you know the difference between bulls and steers. Do you know the difference?
So the bulls, they kind of go trotting around looking,
Well, there's an important physical difference. And this is a family show, so I'm not going to lay it out to you, but I think a lot of your viewers know, and you maybe have some of your guys look it up. But Bebo, the Longhorns mascot, is a steer. And it's become very clear that there are quite a few steers down in Austin and not very many bulls.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. When Sark opened his mouth and he picked a fight with a bunch of West Texas boys, he should have known that he better get ready to pack a lunch, because we're ready to strap it on.
Hell yeah.
We're ready to spot the ball, and we're ready to go. So September 3rd, September 5th, you name the place, we'll be there, and we'll go at it.
Apologies.
Wow.
I said Tarleton State. It's Abilene Christian.
I love this guy.
So he basically said, drop your nuts. In the words of Cam Smith, drop your nuts.
And who is this guy speaking again?
This is Cody Campbell, former Texas Tech player, and now director of the Board of Regents.
I love it. I love this guy. And he's right. Like Texas Tech, I mean, they're not – look, any part of Texas, you're going to get to Texas. You're going to get to Texas field. You know what I mean? But Texas Tech, they're nobody to play with. I think Sark's intimidated because of what Texas Tech's doing in the NIL sphere, the NIL world. They're killing it. And look, not to say Texas doesn't have money. They do too. But they're all fighting over the same oil, right, when it comes to their NIL money. And Texas Tech, I think they're here to stay. I do. I think Texas Tech's here to stay.
So if I'm Texas State or Abilene Christian, the two schools, Texas has Texas State. Abilene Christian is playing Texas A&M on the same, or Texas Tech.
Gotcha.
A lot of Texas.
Texas this, Texas that.
They're playing on the same day. So if I'm Texas State and if I'm Abilene Christian, I'm saying, okay, make our day. Make our day. Mid-major programs and FCS programs, they are always cash-strapped. Even the best of the best are always cash-strapped. Let's see. Texas State was set to make $1.4 million in its guarantee from Texas.
How much?
$1.4 million. Abilene Christian was set to make $375,000 by playing Texas Tech. So if I'm those two, if I'm Texas State and I'm Abilene Christian, I'm saying, help us pay our payroll.
Yeah.
I'd say collectively make this game worth $5 million. We'll play each other. We'll gladly get out of your way.
Yeah.
Because these schools need money. They need money.
Yeah.
Like,
and if they're getting the check, I don't think they're going to care,
No, Texas State, come on, let's be real. I mean, it's their first year in the newly redesigned Pac-12. They're not making the CFP this year.
Right.
And they've got games against Boise State, Oregon State, Fresno State, Washington State. It's not a bad schedule.
You're talking about Texas State schedule?
Texas State's schedule.
Texas State schedule?
Yes.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's so it's all conference. Out of conference, they would still play, let's see, UI Incarnate Word, North Texas Mean Green, the UTSA Roadrunners. Did they play anybody outside of the state of Texas this year?
UINBC Carnet. What? What did you just say?
UIW, University of Incarnate Word.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm saying, hey, double what you were going to pay us.
Yeah.
And we'll get out of the way.
No, I'm with you on
we'll
that.
Get right out of your way. How fast can you get me out of here? And which door do you want me to leave out of?
Yeah, that's
Coach
right.
O?
Coach O. I mean, if they're gonna get, if they'll benefit from it financially, then yeah, I mean, it would make sense. And I don't know, with 9 conference games now, getting this one on the schedule like consistently, wouldn't that be tough for Texas and Texas Tech Diesel with the SEC? It's going to be tough in years to come, but yeah, get out of the way. Let's see which bull wants to run and run full steam ahead. I
didn't know that was the difference between a steer and a bull, and I didn't know that Bevo didn't have his what.
That's so funny.
Gosh.
That is so funny. I love that guy, by the way. What was his name again, Diesel?
His name is Cody Campbell.
Which
Campbell, is a great Texas name.
It really is. It really is. Cody Campbell has a new fan in me. That was really good stuff. Diesel, hour number 2, Kevin Schnall audio. Where's his focus? Does the audio that we're going to play make us change our mind a little bit? A tweet from Sports Talk SC from Phil Kornblut and those guys. Any legs to that tweet? What's the feeling? Does feeling matter? What's the latest in Coastal Columbia? We'll get into it next.
Diesel and Cole Bryson.
On the Fan Upstate.
On the Joy Law Firm text line, Coop and Greer gets in at 844-326-3663 and says, just turned it on. Did someone say something bad about Bevo? They had to take his nads or he would trample every mascot like the ugly dog in Georgia. Coop and Greer, Texas, proud Texas fan taking shots at the ugly dog.
Still ain't got any balls, man.
You know what, though? A bulldog is a really, I don't want to call it ugly, but
it's an ugly dog.
Would you call it ugly?
It's an ugly dog. So it's what's referred to, Cole, as brachiocephalic.
Yeah, that's a word 99.9% of our Tolos.
What that means is instead of having a nose out to here like a dog normally has, you push it into their face.
It's squished.
It's squished.
Squished is the word we know.
It's got the squished face, and they can't breathe. And pugs are that way. Bulldogs are that way. Boxers are that way. There's a couple other breeds as well. They are genetic disasters, Cole. They should not exist. No way, shape, or form would nature ever make an animal that can't breathe.
Are they mess ups?
No, we did it. We did it through selective breeding. We've done it to all these different species. It's wrong. Or breeds. It's wrong.
So what you're saying is if it never happened, all these different schools would not have mascots as a bulldog.
Well, they could still call themselves bulldogs, but the dog wouldn't look the way the modern bulldog looks.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a whole segment right there in its
Frenchies
own, right?
are that way. Boston Terriers are that way.
Yeah, I would say they're not the prettiest dogs. They're not the ugliest dog out there. My opinion, but they're not the prettiest.
What is the prettiest dog?
The prettiest dog? Oh man, that's a good one. I think a lot of people, not necessarily me, I think a lot of people would say golden retrievers.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're
beautiful.
They're beautiful dogs.
They're fun, sweet, long, flowing. Blonde hair.
I think a boy can spaniel is beautiful. Love labs. Labs are beautiful, but they're just kind of plain Jane vanilla, you know?
Potato with a waggy tail.
There's not much to them.
Yeah.
Now they're pretty dogs, but there's not much to them. Dalmatians, I mean, those are,
beautiful dogs.
Old movie back in the day.
Yeah. I think there were 102 of them.
Two Dalmatians.
Like that.
A lot of them. Yeah. What would you say, though? The most beautiful?
Obviously, I'm biased. I'm biased because I own a Doberman, but I think German Shepherds are beautiful.
They are.
I think
German Shepherds are.
They're big. Yeah. They're striking. They're smart. They're intelligent.
I think Huskies are pretty, too.
Yeah, they are.
Texter says Bernese Mountain Dog. I've seen those. Those are the big furry things.
Yeah. I used to see a guy downtown Greenville in the summertime would be out with like 2 or 3 Bernese Mountain Dogs. And I felt bad for the dogs.
I love,
too hot.
Despite a narrative that circulated 2 years ago on the show, I do love dogs. I don't own one, but I know that there's a narrative out there that I hate dogs. I don't know who started that or how that got started.
Sounds like a Dewey thing.
It maybe, but there are dogs I love. I love spaniels as well, but I would never own a small little yapper. I think a small little yapper are the most pointless dogs to have.
I mean, nothing's going to sneak up on you with a little yapper dog.
Oh my gosh. They're the worst. I mean, just absolute worst. Apologies to someone listening right now who has a yapper dog. Well, I'll tell you the worst one's a little, the ones that people pay thousands of dollars. Chihuahuas, maybe. There's one more I'm thinking of, and they're the worst.
The little teacup breeds.
What's the point? What's the point in having it? That's just.
I mean, most of them they like have that weepy stuff in their eyes. It's gross looking all the time. Yeah. Again, dogs are not meant to be that small. You should not have a dog the size of a squirrel.
I'm a lab guy. Though. Yeah. I'm a lab kind of guy. There's just something about me. I love a lab. And it doesn't matter what color. I'm not prejudiced toward which color of lab it is. They're all beautiful. I had a black lab. The last dog I had, Diesel, was half lab, half pit. And you talk about a pretty dog. Half lab, half pit. Pit bulls, I like pit bulls. I know they're not beautiful dogs.
My friend's got a pit bull. It's the sweetest dog in the world.
I like pit bulls. I really do. Yeah. I really do. So there's your dog conversation of the day. Eric Hines on the Joy Law Firm text line says a Japanese crested is cute. What is a Japanese crested? Have you heard of that?
Dog, Japanese crested dog. They are not beautiful dogs. What are you talking about? A Japanese crested.
Never heard.
looks like
I never heard of
that
That's a
sort
bird?
of that sort of clapped out lady that's at the bar
Oh
at the
my
corner
God.
of the bar and has spent every single night just
On
chain
meth?
smoking cigarettes, sitting at the corner of the same
Oh
bar
dear.
for
Lord.
30 years. Japanese
And talks like this.
they're horrible.
Those are the ugly.
They're horrible.
Eric's got to be kidding, right?
Yeah.
Eric, you got to be joking.
You can't
never
pull one over on us.
I had never seen those until just now. That is the ugliest dog ever. I mean, you talk about a mess up. There's no way. Texter says, I'd love a German Shepherd if I had more room and they wouldn't kill my wife. Our Shiz Poo will have to do.
Why would they kill your wife?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, is that like a fact? Do they kill wives? Is that what they do?
I mean, I know people with German Shepherds. No wives have been
They
hurt.
kill 'em. What is this text from the 357? I can't even pronounce Bichon.
Bichon Frise.
Bichon Frise. Who
Bichon
is
Frise.
that? Bichon. Rob. I mean, what is Bichon Frise?
This dog looks like a wad of like little cotton balls.
Bichon.
Yeah, they're adorable as hell.
Frises.
But it's a little yapper. It's a little.
Oh, it does like a little
yapper dog.
snowball, a little
Yeah.
cotton ball. It does.
Yeah, looks like a snowball
It
bush.
does. That is. I don't know. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do it. Eric Hines says you're welcome. By the way, thank you, Eric. That is the ugliest thing I've ever
Thanks for making
seen.
us look that up.
Yeah, that's the worst thing. And how do you know what that is? I mean, the fact that you know what that kind of dog is.
Why didn't you tell us the Mexican hairless dog?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Which I think a Mexican hairless dog is more is a prettier dog than that thing.
Corn Chip says I didn't get to choose my squirrel-sized dog. He was a gift. Ugh, is it really squirrel-sized? That's awful. I feel bad for you.
I think
not
my
being
dog
demeaning.
takes duties bigger than your dog.
Yeah. No, I like bigger dogs. I met your dog. I like big dogs. I do. I'm a big dog fan. Big dog. Not like big dog like Sandlot big. You know, that's.
I have a friend that got one of those.
Really?
Yeah. It's
I think that's
English
too big.
Mastiff. He's enormous. He's enormous.
Hurricane Jeff on Twitter says, my family and I have a Shih Tzu, and it's about 13 to 15 pounds. It's a wonderful dog, but it won't be much of a protector. She will bark when strangers are around.
Hey, it's the first alert right there.
You have to be careful saying that word on radio. You know,
I think you have to say
Shih
Tzu. Shih Tzu.
Dexter says, look up a picture of a golden retriever mixed with a Doberman Pinscher. That's a really pretty dog. Hadn't never heard of that.
Golden mixed with a Doberman.
Doberman Pinscher. Now, what's yours again?
Doberman.
What is yours? Is yours a Pinscher?
Yeah, they're all Doberman.
Oh, they all are?
They're all Doberman Pinschers.
I've never heard of a retriever and a Doberman mix.
I mean, it looks like a shaggy Doberman.
Yeah.
It's a pretty dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cute as a
How
button.
about the last one for you? Last one. I have to German short-haired pointer. Have you seen those?
Short.
They call them GSPs, German short-haired pointer.
Yeah, that's like the
Pretty dogs.
That's like the Tennessee mascot, right? Isn't that a
Maybe
short-haired pointer?
so. Yeah.
Smokey. Isn't Smokey a German short-haired pointer?
I think so.
Oh, they're awesome.
Those are. I mean, aren't those pretty dogs?
Yeah.
At brown and white.
I like the brown better. The black
yeah.
and white looks good, but the brown and white's better.
Those are beautiful. Good hunting dogs.
Yeah.
Good hunting dogs. Good Boykin Spaniel. I think Boykin's our state dog. Is Boykin our state dog?
I have no idea.
You don't know our state dog?
I don't know. How do I not know this?
What do you want to guess, by the way?
The South Carolina pit stop?
No, it's the Boykin Spaniel.
Oh,
Sure
okay.
enough.
Boykin Spaniel.
Pretty dogs, man.
Interesting. Okay.
I am shocked that you, of all people, I mean, I figured you would be like the South Carolina dog. Do you know the South Carolina state bird?
It is the Carolina wren.
God, look at you.
I only
Look
know
at
that.
you.
I only know that because my wife just became a bird watching enthusiast, and she told me yesterday that Carolina wren was our state bird.
Does she have the app? There's an app where you can click play almost or listen,
Yeah.
and it'll tell you what kind of bird it is.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
We were birding in Conisty yesterday.
Pretty cool. Pretty
Took
cool
the dog
stuff.
with us.
Pretty cool stuff there. So there is your 10 minutes worth of dog conversation, Tolos. Back to sports we go. 844-326-3663. Let's get to Kevin Schnall. What did he have to say after the season was over? This comes from Brandon Dunn of 15 Sports. Here was the head ball coach in Conway for now.
I've got a 5-year contract at Coastal. I'm the head baseball coach at Coastal Carolina. Can't stress it enough. In the last 25 years, we got the 5th best winning percentage in the entire country, the 6th most wins in the entire country. The past decade, we've got the most wins in the state of South Carolina. We've been to Omaha twice. We won a national championship. We were in the national championship finals last year. Only 4 teams in the last 12 years that advanced to the College World Series finals multiple times. Vanderbilt, Florida, LSU, Coastal Carolina. As long as we continue to be successful, people are going to continue to call Coastal Carolina to gauge interest in us in their jobs. I don't blame them. I would too.
Does that sound like a guy, Diesel, who's leaving Conway?
No. I mean, I think the best coaches are always process-oriented, right?
Yeah.
They're not results-oriented. So Kevin Schnall could be the head baseball coach anywhere, and I think he'd be the same guy, right?
Sure.
He's not going to behave differently because he's the head baseball coach at South Carolina or Coastal, or if he was the head baseball coach at Wren High School, right? I think he would be the same guy. He's a very focused kind of guy, and he could do that anywhere. That said, it's nice when you're playing at that level and you have somebody who basically handles it all for you. One of the hardest parts about taking a new job is all of the negotiating back and forth of what am I going to get paid? What am I getting for this? What about it? Like, he didn't have to deal with that. And so he just kind of gets to say, he gets the one sheet. South Carolina is offering this. Tennessee is offering that. This school's offering this. I'll pick that one.
Correct. And look, to his point, because of their success in recent years, Diesel, he is, and that staff and a lot of the players are in prime position. Like, if you look at programs across the country that are, in prime position to be picked, their coaches to be grabbed, Coastal's probably at the very top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
And as of 11:07 this morning, up in Columbia, down from where we are, but up from Conway, there have been a few players that have entered the portal. And I say a few. I'll read you the list. Will Craddock, Logan Prisco, Alex Valentine, KJ Scobie, Bo Hollins, Zach Russell, Josh Gunther, Dawson Harmon, Hudson Lee, Riley Goodman, Patrick Dudley, Gavin Brolland. Those are all players that have entered the transfer portal, meaning Carolina's roster is vacant, I guess is a good word for it.
Yeah, it's like the final scene of The Fresh Prince. He walks into the mansion living room and he's looking around like this place is empty.
Only difference is there is nobody to walk into the living room because there is nobody there. So the house is not occupied. It does not have an owner, landlord, nothing. And Diesel, because of that, these roster spots being open, obviously reports are out there that he's the lead guy. I don't know what you take, and I don't mean this in a demeaning way whatsoever toward Phil Kornblut or Sports Talk SC. They put out a tweet yesterday, and I'm assuming it was Phil. I don't know what you take away from this tweet, though. It was very generic, Diesel, in the sense of South Carolina. Let me restart that. The feeling and the mood around the Coastal Carolina baseball program is that Kevin Schnall is going to take the South Carolina job. So again, that's not concrete. Obviously, there's still a few things that are probably to be ironed out. Now, I'm sure they have made contact today because it is Monday, but I just don't know. I still think it's going to happen. I still think he's going to be the guy, and I think the speculation is going to continue to increase. But I just don't know that we've seen anything out there. Here's the exact tweet, by the way, from Sports Talk Media Network. Per a source on Sunday afternoon, the feeling around the Coastal Carolina program is that Kevin Schnall will be leaving for the South Carolina job. Again, just a feeling, but people inside the program, their feelings probably driven by maybe conversations that had been had underground behind closed doors, Diesel.
Yeah, I would suspect that in Conway you've got ADs, board of directors, and they've been thinking about this for weeks now. This is not anything brand new. They've been thinking about this for weeks. What kind of of package can we offer Kevin Schnall to get him to stay?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to be able to pay what South Carolina is. It's just a fact. They're not going to be able to pay the total of his salary, of his assistants' salaries. He's not going to have the same pool of NIL and resources where that's concerned. But if Kevin Schnall has the love for Coastal Carolina that we all think he has, he's been there 25 years, you might be able to essentially put him in a class of its own inside the Sun Belt Conference, like way beyond what the other really good, probably 5 programs from the Sun Belt made the postseason this year.
Pretty good, by the way.
You could set yourself way apart from those and reset the market in that conference so far out there that no one else is probably going to spend what you're spending. And he would get to stay and keep everything the same.
Look, I have no doubt he does love Coastal. I believe everybody knows that. That guy, he bleeds Coastal Carolina. He bleeds teal just as much as anyone. And the longevity, Diesel, in which he's been there at Coastal Carolina and what he did under Gary Gilmore and the foundation, I'm sure that it's a double-edged sword in what he talked about when you have the success that they've had. It's a double-edged sword because you love Coastal. I'm sure Landon Powell loves North Greenville. I'm sure other coaches out there love where they are. But the other side of that double-edged sword is when you do have success, you're going to have decisions to make. Hey, any profession, newsflash, radio, television, your job, sales, whatever it is, if you have success, sooner or later, somebody's going to come calling, and you're going to have a tough decision to make, Diesel. And I think Schnall is now having to eat that double-edged sword more than he ever has.
Yeah, I think the only coach that I can think of that spent some time somewhere, had a lot of success there, didn't love it was Lane Kiffin. You know, he
hates that
apparently
place.
didn't like it in Oxford.
Yeah.
Parents told him.
Yeah.
Parents told him that it was a problem.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that a lot of Coastal Carolina fans would have any reason to be upset at him for leaving, right? I mean,
no.
He gave you 23 years as an assistant, 2 years as a head coach. He got you to the College World Series finals in his first season. I understand why Coastal fans might feel disappointed, like there's unfinished business, but that's the price of success, right? I mean, they'll find a good coach. There's no guarantee that he's going to be the same caliber of coach that Kevin Schnall was. Maybe Kevin Schnall will leave an assistant behind and kind of keep that Gary Gilmore tree going. Maybe. But being a fan of a program that tried that with football, there is a law of diminishing returns, right? There's a reason why whoever this guy is, it was an assistant to Kevin, who was an assistant to Gary Gilmore. There is a drop-off most of the time. Very rarely do you get that continued success forever while sticking with the same tree. We talked about it with Dabo a lot. Like, he's got to get some fresh blood and some fresh ideas in there.
And you know, another thing with Kevin Schnall, he probably also understands that Coastal Carolina, they're a powerhouse right now, but man, in college athletics, it's ever changing. Like it's every year something's different. And I'm not saying that he believes that Coastal's going to drop off or anything like that, but he's also a realist and he understands that the resources that he had, I believe Kevin Schnall looks at it like this. The resources I would have if I'm Kevin Schnall at South Carolina in the SEC, the type of NIL budget we would have, the type of players we could attract with the facilities that are still pretty good facilities in Columbia. If Kevin Schnall, Diesel, is the type of guy that I believe he is, that believes he can do anything that he puts his mind to, I think he looks at it with a little bit of a challenge. I know 10 years ago it would be crazy to think that taking this job is a challenge, but it is. It's not near the job it was. So I believe that Kevin Schnall probably feels as if he can go up there and get this thing back to where it once was.
You take this job, you now have to get past Florida, Tennessee, Georgia. There's a lot of really good Mississippi State, Texas. There's a lot of great baseball in the SEC.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to pull a program from the bottom back to the top, but we'll see. We'll see what the decision he makes that he makes. When we come back, let's shift gears, Cole, over to the hardwood. Let's talk NBA and the finals with Brett Siegel of ClutchPoints.com. He's coming up next. Our next guest is one of the busiest men when it comes to NBA coverage. He is all over the place. Brett Siegel of ClutchPoints.com. Brett, I'm curious, how much sleep are you getting as we're just now 2 days away from the NBA Finals getting underway? Are things ramping up and getting busier and busier, or is the hay kind of in the barn now and you kind of get to really just focus in on one thing?
Other than the trade deadline, this is the busiest time of the year, not just because we got the NBA Finals, but because the NBA draft is 3 weeks from tomorrow, and there is a lot going on around the league with that. A lot of teams talk about moving around in the draft in what is labeled as one of the better drafts in recent memories. Talent up and down this board across the lottery. Should be a fun few weeks in the NBA.
Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter at Brett Siegel NBA. Again, with Clutch Points. Brett, always appreciate your time. It's Cole here. Fair or unfair when it comes to the amount of criticism and hate Chet Holmgren's getting online from over the weekend?
Hate's a strong word. I think that obviously fans, NBA fans in particular, react to things way different than any other sports league. They're pretty critical of every good thing that happens, every bad thing that happens. But Chet Holmgren definitely deserves a lot of the blame for what happened in this series against Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Wemby simply abused him in all 7 games, and it got to the point where the Thunder had to put Alex Caruso, who is more than a foot smaller than Victor Wembanyama. They had to put him on him as the primary defender at times. Just didn't work out. So this was the first big test for Chet Holmgren in the playoffs against Wembanyama, a guy that he's going to see for many years to come, and he failed it, which is going to lead to some questions this offseason about, does Sam Presti trust Chet Holmgren long-term? Do they maybe look to add more front court depth in the draft? Or maybe do they make an all-out move and simply leverage future draft picks and Chet Holmgren now to try to make a run at Giannis Antetokounmpo? That seems like a last-ditch resort type move. I don't think that they need to do that, but it's certainly going to be a topic of conversation around the league over the next few weeks.
Brett, how many miles of eye rolling have you already performed at the Wemby GOAT talks? I mean, these are already underway. He's in his first NBA Finals, second full year in the league, and people are already calling him the GOAT. I mean, you have to be pushing back on this.
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't seen any GOAT conversation on my timeline, at least. Nobody around the league is really talking about that. But what they are talking about is that this is now Victor Wembanyama's Western Conference, that the Spurs are way ahead of schedule from what everybody thought. They're in the driver's seat to be the favorites in this conference next to the Thunder for many years to come. And that seems to be the battle that we're going to see year in, year out, where the Western Conference Finals is going to be Spurs versus Thunder. Is there another team that can maybe break through? Is there a young team like maybe the Utah Jazz that can wind up breaking through now that they have the number 2 pick and they're going to have Jaren Jackson Jr. fully healthy after trading for him at the deadline? Is there an older team out there, maybe the Warriors, that can go on one last run and maybe break the streak between those two teams? But the talk around the league is that Victor Wembanyama is only 22. Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper are around that same age. This team's not going anywhere, and they're only going to get better for many years to come.
A little breaking news aside from the NBA, the Philadelphia Eagles are trading Pro Bowl wide receiver A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots for a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick. So breaking news there this afternoon right here on the Fan Upstate as we are joined by Brett Siegel. You said there, and I agree with you, Brett, it does look like Wemby's Western Conference, maybe even Wemby's league. We'll find out. The Oklahoma City, though, losing Game 7, still a really good team. Still have the MVP on their team down in Oklahoma City. Does this seem like to you the matchup between the teams for years to come in the Western Conference between Oklahoma City and San Antonio, or do you have reason to believe that Oklahoma City may take a back seat to maybe even another team in years to come?
No, I do see these two teams battling it out for at least the next 2 to 3 years. And one of the main reasons I say that, I think that the Thunder, quite frankly, would have won this series if they were fully healthy with Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell. Those are their number 2 and number 3 playmakers and ball handlers on this team. And without them, we saw Shai Gilgeous-Alexander have to do everything. There was no other guy on this roster that could create for themselves. There was one point in Game 7 where Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 30-plus points and none of the other starters had more than 4. And that just goes to show how important Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell are to this offense. And as good as Jared McCain was and as much as he stepped up, they need Mitchell and Williams healthy to be the championship contenders that they are. Those guys played pivotal roles last year. They were playing pivotal roles in the playoffs this year before they both got injured. I fully expect the Thunder to be right back where they were next season, and I expect them to be back in the finals at some point with those guys healthy.
Brett Siegel of ClutchPoints.com. Find him and give him a follow on Twitter. Do you think there's some magic in the way that the Spurs organization was set up to accept Victor Wembanyama? Or was it inevitable that it helped him get to this point? Or was it inevitable that whoever drafted him in 2023, whether it had been the Hornets, the Blazers, the Rockets, teams that were all there at the top of that draft, would they have all been in the same position as well with Victor?
I think it's fair to say a little bit of both. And the reason I say that, one scenario that kind of pops into my head is Stephen Curry, when he was first going into the draft way back in the day. There were a lot of talks about whether or not he would even play in the NBA because of his ankle issues. And it would have taken the right situation for him to be drafted and become the player that he is. And he found that situation with the Warriors. So if he was drafted by another team, that's not necessarily saying that Stephen Curry would have had the legendary career that he did. So I think that you could push back on that and say the same about Victor Wembanyama. He got put in the perfect scenario where he could be the number one option right away on a team that then got more top 5 picks with Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. And that really set the stage for them to take that leap this year. So as much as Wembanyama played a factor in their success, he's obviously the best player on that team, one of the best players in the league. And for many years to come, he's now the face of the NBA. But I don't necessarily know if he would have had the same success early in his career in terms of the team making the NBA Finals if he did go to another team. Like if he did go to the Brooklyn Nets or the Washington Wizards or the Utah Jazz, one of those teams, would he necessarily be able to carry them to the NBA Finals? And I think that the answer is no, simply because the depth around him that San Antonio surrounded him with, both through the draft and free agency, has been incredible. Even a guy like Luke Cornett, who came from the Boston Celtics with NBA Finals experience and championship caliber experience there, he's been the perfect backup and mentor to Victor Wembanyama there. So everything has played a role in the Spurs' success, both Wemby's success and the team as a whole. And I do think that's a little bit of both the magic of the Spurs and obviously this team being set up to succeed.
Oh, Brett, you mentioned Luke Cornett, so I have to ask, whose chase down block was better, LeBron's against Golden State or Luke Cornett's in Game 7?
Well, LeBron's chase down block directly led to a championship. So I think that one is certainly going to be the best block of all time, and it will forever be one of the best NBA Finals moments, if not the best moment in NBA Finals history. But Luke Cornett, certainly you have to give him his props. That block gave them the momentum that they needed to finish Game 7 and give the Spurs one of their most iconic victories in franchise history.
Brett, earlier you mentioned the NBA draft here coming up just a couple of weeks away. We're here locally, I guess, in Hornets territory. They have 2 picks right now on the board, number 14, number 18 via Orlando. What value might you expect to still be on the board at those picks for the Hornets, or do you look at them as one of those teams that you would expect to trade one of those away?
Well, I look at the Thunder, for example, as a team that has 2 picks, kind of like the Hornets do in similar spots. They're a championship contender. They have everybody under contract. They're a team that is going to be looking to move some of those picks. The Hornets, not necessarily. Could they look to move picks and gather future assets or maybe jump up the draft board? Absolutely. They have the 14th and 18th selections in this year's draft. There's going to be 2 high-level talents available in both spots that the Hornets could immediately add for depth and for long-term potential to pair with LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Con Knipple for the foreseeable future. But they could wind up keeping those picks. They could wind up trading them. It's just really early to tell right now, and the Hornets don't have many leaks from their organization. You just have to try to talk to teams that have spoke with them and try to get information about what the Hornets are thinking. Right now, we expect them to keep both those picks unless they are to package them to move up in the draft. Who could they potentially target if they do move up? Well, we've heard that they're interested in Yaxel Lendenberg from Michigan. He's the best senior in this draft class. He was the leader of that Michigan team that just went on to win the national championship. And there's a lot to like with him, really no negatives. He's a great team guy. Brings out the best in everybody, good two-way player, and brings a lot of high energy. So with Miles Bridges entering the final year of his contract, it would make sense if they ended up with a guy like Lendenberg at that power forward position. But like I mentioned, there's going to be plenty of talent in the lottery, after the lottery in this draft class, guys like Kareem Lopez from New Zealand, Cameron Carr, who's been a guy flying up draft boards since the NBA draft combine. Ane Steinbeck, Christian Anderson Jr. is a shooter from Texas Tech. You still got Jaden Quaintance on the board, center from Kentucky. So there's plenty of talent up and down this draft class from 1 through 20.
All right, Brett, it all starts Wednesday, June 3rd at 8:30 on ABC. Game 1 this Wednesday. New York, 53 wins. San Antonio, 62 wins on the season. When you look at this matchup, obviously you've been thinking about this for several days, if not a couple of weeks now, with the potential of this being the matchup in the NBA Finals. What jumps off to you first? We'll get to who you're leaning towards and what makes this matchup fun, but just initially, when you knew this matchup was concrete, what jumps off to you first?
There's two things. I think there's a fatigue factor that's going to be in play here from both sides. One, the Knicks haven't played in over a week and a half. So will they be rusty? Will they be well rested? And then obviously the Spurs coming off that emotional high of beating the Thunder and seeing how much that win meant to them. Will they be ready to go against the Knicks in game 1 on their home court? Or will that fatigue wind up catching up to them? Because we saw at times in that Thunder series, Victor Wembanyama was tired, and rightfully so. He was doing a lot. He played the most minutes that he's ever played in his career in that series. And so we'll see which team is going to be flat coming out. Maybe they both will be flat. Maybe they both won't. And maybe they'll just be throwing punches right out of the gate. But that's certainly at the forefront of what I'll be watching. Then obviously the second thing is Victor Wembanyama. Who's going to guard him on the New York Knicks? Because the solution cannot be just throwing Karl-Anthony Towns at him for 48 minutes a game, because Wembanyama will just be barbecue chicken there, and he will just absolutely eat him up in the low post. Karl-Anthony Towns is not known to be a shot blocker, not known to be a physical big man on defense, and when he is, he picks up a lot of fouls. So that could run into a problem for the Knicks, given how important he's been to their offense and playing that Draymond Green role at times, facilitating the offense at the top of the arc. So I'm going to be intrigued to see who they put on Victor Wembanyama. I won't be shocked to see if it's some kind of duo going at him in OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, given their length and athleticism on the wing.
Brett, there was some conversation last week about Mitchell Robinson and the pinky surgery that he had, and he was going to play. I mean, from Mitchell's perspective, I would assume there was no way, shape, or form that he was going to miss playoff games with a broken pinky. Just put a brace on it, tape it up, get out there and play. But, would you expect that to be any hindrance whatsoever now that he's come out of that surgery?
100%, because that is a significant injury for a big man. Your pinky finger, and when you're going up for blocks, you don't want that to get hit. And so if it does, he'd be out for the entire series. They're going to be cautious there. I don't know yet whether or not he's going to play in game 1. I don't think the Knicks know yet whether or not he's going to play in game 1. And that's going to be significant development, because like I said, you can't have Karl-Anthony Towns guarding Victor Wembanyama, but you can have Mitchell Robinson, because he's a physical big man who can push him out of the paint. We saw Isaiah Hartenstein have success with that for the Thunder. And I would expect Mike Brown to want to do the same thing with Mitchell Robinson in some rotations for 10 to 14 minutes a game. But if you don't have Robinson and Towns as your only big man, you're going to have serious concerns about keeping Victor Wembanyama out of the paint and having an avid shot blocker to keep guys like De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle off the glass.
I love the matchups that we get within the game within the game, if you will, Brett. The over-under set at 217.5. If both teams were around 108, 105, 108, it would seem kind of low scoring compared to what a typical NBA game is. Not necessarily low scoring, though, when you look at the postseason. You do see lower scores in the postseason. When it comes to like past championship teams, you've seen the likes of Golden State just being able to outscore teams. If you look at all of the things you've talked about with Wembanyama and all of the matchups, we know what can be. But when it comes to just scoring the basketball, the objective of the game, who do you think does that better, San Antonio or New York?
I think it's San Antonio. I think they have better one-on-one players other than Jalen Brunson with the New York Knicks. I think that Brunson's a top 5 one-on-one player in this league and being able to create plays for everybody else. But you just look at the depth in San Antonio and guys who you can point to just say, go get a bucket. And It's 3 guards, like I mentioned, with Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox. Wembanyama can score from anywhere on that court. Keldon Johnson has shown the ability to put the ball on the ground and get his own bucket. Devin Vassell is a great 3-point shooter. So all those options, like I mentioned, it spreads the court. It makes them unpredictable on offense, and any of those guys are capable for going for 15 plus in any game. Wembanyama, he's going to take charge under the bright lights in MSG. He had a fantastic showing there last year. I believe he scored 50 or 60 points in a game in MSG against the Knicks. So he's ready for the bright lights. He's ready for the NBA Finals. and I fully expect the Spurs to come out swinging in the series.
Brett, the answer to this question, maybe there's not a whole lot they can do about this, but what are the Spurs staff and Mitch Johnson trying to implement in your mind to create some consistency with Wembanyama's scoring output? He would put up a ton of points and then disappear, and then put up a ton of points and disappear. Is it just you got to go let him play the games and what happens, or is there strategy that can be implemented to give him more opportunities in games where he's not scored a lot?
It's a little bit of both. You got to see how the game's going. You got to see, are you leading? Are you down? What are the minutes right now? And that all plays a factor in how long he's on the court, what stints he's on the court. And obviously, they'll look at the chess game factor with the Knicks of, is Karl Anthony Towns out there? Do you want him matching up with Victor Wembanyama? Are they going to play Mitchell Robinson? Who else is going to be guarding Wembanyama? Are they going to be throwing double teams at him? So that all kind of plays into the game plan right now. Obviously, Mitch Johnson and the Spurs will have some type of plan for what they want to do entering this series, but that will quickly be torn apart, thrown out the door about 5-6 minutes into game one. And that's just the nature of these playoff series, the nature of the NBA Finals. You got to see how your opponent's playing you, because you have an idea of how they're going to guard you from during the regular season and your matchups there. But the playoffs are a different animal, especially the NBA Finals, where you are 4 games away from winning a championship. So everything is going to be on the table for the Spurs. They're going to see how the Knicks match up with them, and they'll go from there. And maybe this will be somebody else's breakout series. And just like how we thought Jason Tatum would be the Finals MVP for the Celtics, it wound up being Jaylen Brown. And maybe something similar happens there, where Victor Wembanyama has a great series and he helps the Spurs win a title. But maybe it's somebody else that steps up for them. Maybe it's Stephon Castle or De'Aaron Fox, just given the matchups and the fact that you don't have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the lead guard on the other team. It's now Jalen Brunson, where he's still an all-NBA talent, but significantly smaller than Shai, does things a lot differently, not as crafty in terms of being able to take guys off the dribble in the mid-range area. You're going to be able to throw different players at Brunson and hinder him, especially in double teams, whereas Shai can dribble past them. So I think that's going to be a matchup within the matchup to watch.
Brett, last question for you before we let you run. You mentioned past matchups. These teams have played this year. How much weight do you put into past matchups when it comes to these two teams, or is it completely a new slate?
I put 1% into it.
Wow.
And the only reason I say 1% is because you can see what worked and you can start the series doing that. But like I said, after those first 4, 5, 6 minutes, everything is thrown out the window. It's the NBA Finals. Everything changes. It's going to be a chess match between Mike Brown, Mitch Johnson, just like it was in the last series for these two teams. And I fully expect there to be several changes throughout this series in terms of how these teams are playing.
Brett, you're the best. Always appreciate your time, my friend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Brett Siegel, clutchpoints.com. Good stuff there. It starts Wednesday. It's the NBA Finals, Diesel, between the Spurs and the New York Knicks. Boy,
this feels like a 90s kind of series.
It does.
Right?
I like it, though.
I'm thinking back in the day. I'm thinking David Robinson. I'm thinking, yeah.
Have you looked at the spread, by the way, yet? If you haven't.
I haven't.
Okay, what
Game
would you
one
guess?
Spread?
Game one spread. What do you guess the spread is for Wednesday night?
Who's the host of game one?
That's a good question. That matters, right? That matters a lot. It is in San Antonio.
Spurs game one at home. I'm going to say Spurs favored by 9.5.
4.5.
Oh, okay.
4.5. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close. And we'll see. It open. Let me take that back. It opened at 4.5. It's now 5.5.
I just thought it would be bigger because New York has had a lot of time to sit.
Yeah.
A lot of time to sit.
That'd be interesting.
Almost too much time to sit. I think it's been 8 days or 9 days.
Yeah.
Or it will be 9 days by the time they play this game. I feel like they could be a little bit rusty.
And you know what? I've talked about this in recent weeks too, Diesel, even over the last couple of years. I don't know what it was with Oklahoma City. They didn't move them. They didn't move the needle for me. Last year's final, I wasn't really interested in. This one, I'm interested in. This one's fun to me. New York's new. San Antonio's not new, but they're new-ish. It's the new version, and I'm interested in this one.
Hey, there's a whole generation of kids who don't know the Knicks as a good basketball franchise.
Yeah, there's some young kids that don't know the Spurs.
That's true.
The young ones, the Tim Duncans of the world,
man.
you know. So should be a lot of fun. We've got to get to the top headlines in the sports world. Our Daily Wires next. Well, Diesel, we talked about this very briefly last week, but to start our daily wires, A.J. Brown in the news. Blockbuster trade, second one of the day. 2 blockbusters in one day. How about that for a Monday?
Mm-hmm.
A.J. Brown has agreed, the Eagles have agreed to trade A.J. Brown to the Patriots for a second-round pick. And that'll be a 2028 pick and 2028.
The Diana Rossini pick.
Yes. And the life of A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts has come to an end. So the riff-raff in Philadelphia, they never could get along. It's all coming to an end as he is heading to New England.
You said the second big trade of the day. What was the other one?
Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Miles freaking Garrett. Where's he going? Los Angeles, Diesel.
Hey.
The Rams. How about that? They got Jared Verse, the Browns did, and 3 picks. So loading up on picks. The
First round for next year, and then what,
second and a third.
Seconds.
Yep. The NBA Finals are set. The New York Knicks will face the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals that begin this Wednesday. You just heard Brett Siegel, who did a great job breaking down that series. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Have you given a pick? Who do you lean? You don't have to give a pick. Who do you leaning toward in 7? Or not in 7, but in the series?
I'm leaning New York just because they have a little more experience, a little more age behind them.
New York. You're just going New York?
Yeah, I'm going New York.
Okay. I hadn't decided yet.
New York in 6.
I'm torn. I really am torn. SGA, after the performance on Saturday, came out and said, I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve, but I learned the most about myself and make the greatest amount of increases in my career when I fail and don't get what I want. I look at this no different. I didn't get where I wanted to go this season. There's a reason for that. Now I have to look at the reason and try to make sure it never happens again. I like that, but maybe if you didn't flop near as much, you would be better.
Yeah, I was going to ask, could you say this season was a flop for him?
I like that. I like that a lot.
Our minds were in the same place.
Yes, I like that. We will get to some College World Series softball scores in the next hour, as well as some baseball regional updates coming up here shortly. Diesel, most importantly, above all else, though, how about those Atlanta Braves? This weekend, another series win for the Bravos, winning Game 1 and Game 2. 8-3 and 5-2. They did lose Game 3 yesterday, 6-4. Spencer Strider wasn't his best, but Atlanta back in action tomorrow, hosting Toronto at 7:15. They're off today. Oh, and here goes that man, Ronald Acuna Jr. He listened to this show, and he heard us have that conversation last week. You remember, Wednesday?
Should he trade or should he go now?
Oh, boy, he wasn't happy after he heard that segment. He has been on a tear, and Ronald Acuna Jr. is officially back.
He's just amping up that trade value, man.
Oh, no, I don't want to trade him now. You kidding me?
Okay.
No. Keep him. He's the best. He's the best player.
Let him play till he's 40.
Yes, he's paying whatever he wants. This guy right now is feeling it. You can start to see him heating up big time. Georgia Tech currently leads Oklahoma 4-3 in the top of the 6th. Earlier today, St. John's defeated Florida State 5-4. Troy and Florida going at it at 6 o'clock tonight. Kentucky, West Virginia also at 6. At 9 o'clock, Auburn battles Milwaukee. And at 9 o'clock, USC battles Texas A&M on the baseball diamond. Speaking of the baseball diamond, Coastal Carolina lost to Northern Illinois 12-10, Diesel. And obviously, Schnall wasn't happy about the regional, the mismanaged rain delay. Coastal 0-2, 0 barbecue for the Chanticleers.
You can only eat so many wraps, Cole.
You can only eat so many wraps. What a great quote that is. I love it. We got to make a promo of that. You got to make a promo.
They go to their local Ingles and just get one of those big trays of pinwheels?
Hopefully so.
Those are
I
delicious.
love pinwheels, yeah. As of earlier today, 13 Gamecock baseball players have entered the portal. Boy, they're loading up. So how about that? One more quick one for you. Wednesday night marks opening night for the brand new Greenville Triumph Stadium. GE Vernova Park at Bridgeway Station in Malden. They'll host Forward Madison FC. Greenville off to a 2-5-1 start to the season. And how cool is that right here in the upstate?
When we come back, Cole, it is your opportunity, not yours, because you've been talking for the last 2 hours.
I don't get to overreact.
It is your, plural, your everyone's opportunity to call into the show, 844-326-3663, and overreact. What have you got? What did you see this weekend that has you buzzing? call us and get on the lines first for the for the Overreaction Monday next.
Fan Upstate.
Well, a lot to react to in the sports world over the weekend. Cole, don't let anybody tell you we're headed into the doldrums of summer because we got college baseball to talk about, NBA, NHL finals coming up. So much going on.
And Kevin Schnall. Texter asked if we've talked about him. We did an hour ago.
Yeah, we talked about him. We talked to him last Thursday. That's up on the free Odyssey app. You can always go check that out whenever you'd like. Just search for Wire to Wire.
I think it was the 4 o'clock segment we talked about Kevin Schnall. So, Texter, if you want to go back, like Diesel said on the Odyssey app, if you missed that convo, we talked Kevin Schnall, Gamecocks, latest on that about an hour ago.
We did. And we'll get into it a little bit later on in the show as well. Before we get to what you and I have to overreact to, Cole, let's go straight to the phone lines. He's waiting. Dan B., what is your Monday overreaction?
Oh, well, no, I was hoping to go after Tom, but that's, yeah.
Oh,
all right. I want to hear all about Tom's NASCAR experience.
We don't have Tom on the phone. It's just you.
No, I know. Yeah, okay. But yeah, no, I can't wait to hear what he has to say, if he enjoyed it. Did he enjoy the hour and a half delay that made the race go like almost at midnight? And I'm sure like he had said he was there for his like a party or whatever for his friends. So I wonder if they were on plane rides back today or if they drove or whatever. So yeah, I can't wait to hear his story. But yeah, my driver beat your favorite driver,
Danny.
62. One more, he'll tie the late Kyle Busch. But I thought it was a great race.
It was good. It was a late race too.
Yeah, that part always sucks. I mean, Sunday night races are fine, but when they delay, then it's just kind of like, okay, here we go. But no, like Denny had the pole, and everyone could just tell he jumped the gun by about 100 feet.
Got penalized right out of the gate?
Yeah, right out the gate. So he went to the back of the field and just throughout the race, he worked his way back up. He was the pole. He got the pole at the start of stage 3. Then it just became a standard, like one of those strategy ones. Some teams were going to try to do the whole stage without pitting. You know, that kind of fun stuff got into play. But right there at the end, Briscoe and Bell and him duking it out at any given moment. One of them was leading the other two, and then he held them off. It was an exciting ending.
And you know what? I'll say this. I did watch some of it before I fell asleep on the couch last night, Dan. I like Fox, Dan Diesel, because Fox does a good job, but Prime's better. Prime's better. Yeah. It is. It's just the announcers, the broadcast, Dale Jr. being on there. It's. I never thought I'd say it, but NASCAR's better on Prime.
I do agree, and I think NBC is also better than Fox. I think Fox, they're the bottom of the barrel there. But even like the CW does a pretty good job on the O'Reilly stuff. So I mean, like everybody's got obviously their opinions and whatnot, but you know, I think everyone mostly agrees Fox is the bottom of the barrel.
So Dan, obviously you can't control the weather, but if you had to choose, would you rather them just finish it up the next day, or would you rather them just go ahead and shut it down, call it when the rain comes in?
They've had to do that at times, and there is always a case for that. In this version, no, I don't think. I think they knew the stuff was going to move through. It just took a while to get it cleaned off, and there wasn't going to be any more rain. When there is that kind of forecast, then you're getting into the whole is half the race over, that kind of stuff. You hate to see it move to the next day, especially for the fans that travel.
Yeah.
You know, that could be heart wrenching or whatever, you know, if people just can't stick around. I mean, that sucks. But no, I mean, I like to try to get it out, but we don't want to be racing until 3 a.m. either. So, you know, at some point the NASCAR officials have to make a call.
What time did it end last night?
I don't remember exactly. I think it was shortly before midnight.
Gotcha. It's not too bad.
It was like 11:30 something or 40 something, if I remember.
Well, maybe Tom will call in, Dan, and give us a firsthand report.
Yep, and the other thing sucks. Huskers, I think the men's and women's are both out. They both lost both games, I think. So, oh well on that. And I thought I had one more, but I'll just text it in.
Thank you, man.
Anyway, yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Bing Bong.
On the Bing Bong. I did slack on that. I've been slack on that recently. Let me. There we go. There it is. Better late than never.
About the cabin.
Better late than ever. On the Joy Law Firm text line, in all caps, a few seconds ago, Tom gets in. And he says, hey, guys, it's Tom in Somerville. I will call tomorrow to give my full race recap, getting on a plane, but I had fun with 3 exclamation points.
Ooh.
How about
That's
that?
way more fun than just 1 exclamation
Yeah, he
point.
bagged on it. Remember, he said he wasn't looking forward to it. Look, going to a race is fun. It's more fun than watching it on TV. So, especially if you're in the pits and you're watching the car, I mean, it's fun. It's different. It's something that you don't see on a regular basis. My overreaction, Diesel, is a question. Is the Diana Rossini, A.J. Brown trade really an overreaction? Because obviously, formerly with The Athletic, Diana Rossini consistently reported on an A.J. Brown trade discussion, frequently linking the receiver to the New England Patriots and the L.A. Rams. Her reporting became obviously the center of the controversy due to her alleged personal connection with Mike Vrabel. I don't know if we have to still say alleged, but this is a story that I don't believe in my lifetime I can compare it to anything else. The Diana Rossini, A.J. Brown trade.
I mean, I feel like Roger Goodell should have stepped in here and blocked this trade. Like, no, you can't do this. I mean, this clearly has been set up through improper means for a while now. You cannot trade for A.J. Brown. Sorry, Patriots.
And that tweet that she originally sent out, she deleted. So it was, I'm trying to get the exact date, but she was the first one to kind of give the break, if you will. Let's see if I can find the exact date. I think it was sometime back in the winter. Maybe it was early spring, but the tweet's now been deleted. And obviously we've seen the TMZ photos and the videos and the documents. I just don't know if that's truly, I know this is Overreaction Monday. I don't know if that's truly an overreaction because what do they say? Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there might be fire here.
Cole, my overreaction for you right now is that Wes Johnson from Georgia should not be allowed to play in the next game. He should be suspended for a game because of the way he showed up the Liberty players after he hit a 2-run bomb on them to take the lead, to go from down 1 to up 1. The fact that he did like 5 different actions to call out Liberty and to bring extra attention to himself, I don't think he should be allowed to play the next baseball game. Suspended for an entire game.
You know what's most intriguing, in my opinion, about this conversation? It's almost like it almost feels political in a way that everybody has a different opinion on it. It's just either this or that. And you ask one person, they have no problem with it. You ask the next, they have a huge issue with it. You ask the next, no problem. It's wild.
So,
but again, we talked about it earlier. This is the sad reality.
I want to hear from the Tolos who don't have a problem with it. Again, if you didn't see it, Trey Phillips from Georgia hits a home run and multiple times around the bases. You know, he does a sideways trot to first. He points to the crowd. He rounds third and does a spin. In no way, shape, or form should you ever twirl on a baseball field. You should never do that. And then he gets back to the on deck circle and he does the dollar bills, y'all, like he's throwing cash into the sky. In what world, number one, in what world is that okay? In what actual legitimate baseball world is that okay? And why have you just decided that we don't need decorum in baseball anymore? Again, it's a game where you can do all kinds of things to celebrate. You can do all kinds of things to celebrate, but you don't need to be showing up the team 4 or 5 different times before you even get back to your own dugout.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the unwritten rules, the decorum that you're talking about. The unwritten rules have, and it feels this way, have officially become just that, unwritten. That's what it feels like. The unwritten rules of baseball. It feels like we're in an era where they are completely 110% unwritten. They just don't exist anymore.
So we got a texter here that says, you're not that much older than me, Diesel, but you're sounding like a very old man. Fine, I guess. But again, texter, you haven't answered the question. Why is that okay? Why is that okay? I mean, if you don't have a connection to it, which I don't have any connection to Georgia baseball. I don't have any connection to Liberty. I don't have any connection to this.
Yeah.
But that's just not how you play the game.
No, it's not. Well, you know what? it's not how you play the game if you came up in a certain era. And now the sad reality is if you came up in a new era, it is how you play the game.
Oh, it's just going to keep getting worse. That's unfortunately, it's just going to keep getting worse until you have coaches. See, I don't know much about Wes Johnson, the head coach at Georgia. I don't know if he's the freewheeling, fun-loving, let him do what he wants kind of coach, or maybe he's the kind of coach who's scared that if I come down on this player, if I come down on other players of mine that do things like this, I won't be able to get recruits out of the portal. Yeah. I won't be able to get guys out of high school because I kind of have to let them do what they want to do, or I'm going to lose my best players.
Overreaction Monday continues. Cocky for a reason's up next. What's up, Cocky?
Like I say, somebody, which is only one person, one team left now, San Antonio. San Antonio Spurs have to stop the Knicks.
You really hate these Knicks, don't you?
Yeah. What is it with you and Nick and the Knicks? Why you have tweeted at both Cole and I like 6 times this weekend about the Knicks?
Well, not the Knicks per se. It's the Knicks fans. It's the fans. It's not really the team. Team's all right. It's the fans.
What do you think it'll be like? And this is a serious question. You think, and I'm being 100%, if you think this is bad, it may never happen. But what do you think it's going to be like if we ever get back to a Super Bowl? And I mean, we Dallas Cowboys. It'll be 10 times worse. It'll be insufferable.
Yeah, it'd be very insufferable. It'll give new meaning to insufferable.
What did the Knicks fans do to hurt you?
Okay, what is Stephen A? Stephen A?
He's big Knicks fan.
Yeah.
Do I have to say anything else other than Stephen A?
So one guy, one pundit has ruined the entire fan base for you?
No, that's just the poster child.
I asked the question. You gave me one name, and you said, "Is that not enough?"
No, it's not enough. It's like I say, I don't want to rattle it off. But okay. Well, you got a West Coast vibe, and you got the East Coast vibe. Like I say, like Biggie versus Snoop Dogg. You're either a Snoop guy or you're a Biggie guy. I'm a Snoop guy. So
Agree. We do agree on that. Snoop Dogg's better than Biggie Smalls.
Wow. There's a difference.
Heartbreaking news right here on the show.
You both went Snoop, by the way.
Snoop-a-loop. Bring your green hat.
Cocky, thanks for the call, man. Yeah. Did he just go through a hurricane, by the way?
Yes.
I want to play this audio in this Overreaction Monday, Diesel. I'm going to overreact after I play this audio. We brought this up last week on the show. One of the biggest stories last week was the criticism that Jackson Dart got for introducing President Trump. Well, he spoke on it Friday. Abdul Carter spoke on it Friday as well. But the audio I'm going to play is from Jameis Winston. I'm going to tell you what my overreaction is. He's in the same locker room.
I don't know where.
Have you heard this yet?
No. Yeah. I do know that he spoke out. I haven't heard it. Well, but you never know which direction Jameis Winston's going to go.
No, you don't. Jameis Winston, you never know what you're going to get. Here's what he had to say on Friday.
We got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white kid and a black Muslim religion black kid who are coming together and showing the world that we can come together. We can happen. We don't have to see everything. Everything doesn't have to be viewed in this perfect little snow globe. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. But we have to support each other. We have to promote love because love is a stronger feeling than hate. And eliminate these unwanted opinions. Everybody has something to say, but how many people are willing to act? So first off, I want to say that some things are
and that was Jameis. It then goes to Abdul Carter, but my overreaction is Jameis is what America needs.
Yeah.
He's level-headed and he always brings an interesting opinion that you just, again, it's like the whole Forrest Gump life's like a box check. You never know what you're going to get with that guy. I love him.
God, his positivity is both intoxicating and disgusting at the same time.
Yeah.
I love it. I love to hear it, but I'm like, who talks like that? Who is that positive all the time? Nobody.
I agree with 95% of what he said. Let me back it up and I'll stop it where I disagree, if that's okay.
A black Muslim religion, black kid who are coming together and showing the world that we can come together.
I want to stop it there. I hope the end goal of what's happened now between Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart, I hope they have come together.
Mm-hmm.
But what initially transpired was the opposite of coming together. When Jackson Dart introduced the president and then Abdul Carter Diesel tweeted and said, "What's going on here, bro?" Like whatever the exact tweet read, that's the opposite of coming together. That's division, because not only is it division within your locker room, it's division within the country. We already have enough division, don't we? So hopefully, and I say hopefully, that locker room, even though I hate the New York Giants, boy, I would love to see them stay divided. I'd love to see them stay divided.
Yeah.
Hopefully that locker room has come together, because Jameis is 100% right. Love is it drives out hate.
Yeah, and to Jameis's point, you have two people that have had a disagreement that they never knew that they were going to have, right? I mean, this is kind of just popped up out of nowhere. Never knew they were going to have this disagreement. They got over it, fairly quickly, and that's what matters. You can dislike. I can dislike something you like, Cole, or vice versa, or somebody down the hall, or somebody across the street. It's our ability to not let that affect the way we treat each other. Is what's so key. And there's a lot of people out there who can't do that. They can't separate your politics or that guy's politics or that guy's politics from how they treat those other people. You can't let that happen.
Kev up next on Overreaction Monday. What's up, Kev?
What's up, Phil?
How are you, man?
Man, just chilling. Jameis became this big. He should narrate movies now. Right?
Yeah.
He should. After football, he should just go in straight narration, because I don't know. He's got this voice about him now. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if he's trying to be funny. I don't know. It just comes all of a sudden when you start talking to him. And like the same thing that's going on, like you say, you can like who you like. I can like who I like. But if we can play, when this clock starts, we play together and play hard.
Yeah.
At the end of that clock, we are buddies.
And you know what, Kev? Let me say this. And look, just to be real, you're of a different race than I am. And look, nobody loves more than a team, right? And you've been parts of teams. We've all been a part of different teams. And you know, when I was growing up, like, yeah, politics were important to a lot of people. Religion, obviously, very important to a lot of people. But the only thing that I disagreed with Abdul Carter on, and again, hopefully they've made up and they've come together, but Abdul Carter came out and said last Friday, after all this happened, he said, this is bigger than football. And I understand how politics can be dividing. I do. But I just don't agree that politics are bigger than what you do for a living, in the sense of, do they matter? Yes, they matter. Do your relationships with people at work and what your goal is at work matter more? In my opinion, they do, because guess what, Kevin? You and I can cast a vote. Diesel can cast a vote. But there's not really many politicians that know your name, Kevin, that know my name, that care about us the way that teams do. And if you believe that politics are bigger than football, to each your own. I'm not going to hold it against you, but that was my biggest problem with that, what Abdul Carter said. Did you have a problem with what he said there?
I did, because like you say, we can like who we like. As long as I'm not bringing that and causing a distraction to the team, I can like who I like and vote for who I want to vote for.
Yeah.
But that's why you have your own little box when you go in that room to lock down who you want to lock down.
Yeah.
Now, you can come out and tell me, or you don't have to tell me. But at the end of the day, we got a job to go do.
Yeah.
Our job is not in the politicians' world. Our job is not. The only thing we can do is vote. After that, then if your vote don't go the way it need to go, then I guess what? We just got to deal with what we got to deal with. But I didn't do nothing to you. You didn't do nothing to me.
You know, if politics are bigger than football, then stop playing football and go be a politician.
Well, that's true.
Listen, go put your application in for that. Exactly.
And you know what? Like, a lot of people, if he feels that way, or if a lot of people feel that way, to each their own. But I think it's a scary place to be in. And that's why I love sports, right? Sports radio is because it gets a lot of people off of the everyday divisive media that we're all shoved. I think that if you ever, and again, Abdul Carter, I totally respect him. But when you put politics above your personal life and above your profession, oh, what a miserable place to be.
Yeah.
What a miserable.
that's sad because what if, I mean, we go out here and we teach our kids to love everybody, be nice to everybody, but you overpower, like when we went through COVID, when we went through just different stuff, what's the biggest thing that brought everybody back together? When they turned on the sports and the sports was back on.
That's right.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, football, whatever it may be, a big sporting event came on.
Yeah.
Everybody was in front of it. Everybody was jipping and hollering and back to being happy. And and to answer something else, I love to get on the Dallas Cowboys, but if the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl, New York fans ain't got nothing on these Dallas Cowboys.
Nothing. They have no idea, do they, Kev?
Right, and they don't. And I'm telling you, if the Knicks get the 3 wins, hey man, somebody got to load the card because I want to be a part of this party.
Who do you? Hey, you're a big NBA guy. Who do you leaning toward?
I think, and I'm glad he can't hear this right now because he would really give me trouble. But my brother is a big time Spurs fan, and I'm rolling with the Spurs.
Ooh.
But I never tell him.
Yeah.
I would not tell him that.
I would love
if he asked me, I'm going with the Knicks. If he asked me,
yeah.
But
okay, I like it. Hopefully, he's not listening, so you're all good.
Yeah, and the end this thing.
Yeah.
Just hey man, if you got family out there, if you got friends that you whatever, man, go see your people, man.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting at the graveyard is not it. Go see your people.
Oh man, I hate
sage
that.
advice.
Do you have a tough loss recently, Kev?
I did. A buddy that I went from 7th grade all the way through high school, and to this day, like till he passed away, we were best friends. Like
I hate that.
And he's been sick all our life. Like he's had a sickness, but at the same time, we 47 years old, and he just left here with 3 kids behind.
Hate that.
Tough, man.
Yeah, man. So go see your people, man. Go
Really
see
do.
them.
Really do. Kev, always appreciate you, man. Really do.
Good stuff, Kev.
What's up? You know it.
844-326-3663. Always appreciate Kev, Cocky, Danby, all of them. All good calls there.
You know, I would have preferred Abdul Carter to text Jackson Dart directly and say, "Hey, man, explain to me why you're doing this.
Yeah, let's
I
meet.
got a problem. Let's sit down together face to face and deal with it." I think a part of it is the fact that, you know, Abdul Carter's 22, 23 years old, 24 years old, maybe. He's come up in a generation where everybody knows that the way you handle things is not face to face. It's not man to man. It's not sitting down and having a conversation about it. It's I'm gonna put you on blast on social media.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that we've lost our ability to have face-to-face real conversation because it's uncomfortable. It's tough, right? It's hard to look somebody in the eye and say, I got a problem with you. It's really easy to do it on social media. It's really easy to hide behind a phone or a keyboard. It's really hard to go man to man and say, hey man, I got a problem with what you're doing here. Talk to me about this and explain to me why you're doing what you're doing. And then it could have been handled behind the scenes. Nobody would have ever known. I mean, part of it is we got to teach our kids you need to handle things face to face instead of online impersonally.
No doubt. I 100% agree. One more overreaction. I know we're late for a break, but you told me, did you tell me Friday on the show that I was being too Debbie Downer on the Braves? I think it was Friday,
I did tell you that. All right, so here's the deal. And I said this on Friday's show. I also said these words. If Ronald Acuna can elevate to where we expect him to play, there is no team in baseball that's better than the Atlanta Braves. And yes, Drake Baldwin's hurt. Yes, the Braves have had this, they've had that. But my last overreaction is if Ronald Acuna can continue to play at this level. I'm not asking him to homer and grand slam every game. But if he can continue to do this and the Braves continue to stay healthy, there's nobody. And I mean, nobody stopping the Atlanta Braves. Dodgers, meh. Diamondbacks, meh. Doesn't matter. Nobody is going to stop this Braves team if Ronald Acuna Jr. continues to play at this level. You say that, but wait until they lose the series.
Where's your mind going to be? I was mad yesterday because they lost. I was mad yesterday. I was really mad. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. I was mad because they lost. He said they just won the series. Just relax. I know. I said, we're getting spoiled. But let me tell you, I said this Friday, and I'll say it again. The reason that Braves fans are on edge is because this is a World Series caliber team that came out of nowhere. And I mean nowhere. Yeah. Yes, they still had pieces, but the last 2 years, they were absolutely horrible. They came out of nowhere. What do they have to do to continue that? We'll get into it next.
1044 Fan Phone. This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
My goodness. You want to say that this guy is back? He's more than back. He is absolutely on fire. Acuna strikes again.
He's more than back. He's absolutely on fire. What a great call. Ronald Acuna Jr. continues to show why maybe he should get that money you and I were talking about last week, right?
Well, the Braves still can't afford it. That's the problem.
It's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of money. But oh my gosh. And I talked about this on Friday when Ronald Acuna Jr. does this. And when I say this, I mean, Diesel, what many players in the history of the MLB have never done. He's breaking records. He's gotten, he's achieving new things. He's in rare company. What am I talking about? With 5 home runs and 4 stolen bases in his last 4 games, he joined Willie Mays, Eric Davis, and Shohei Ohtani as the only players ever to have 5 home runs and 4 stolen bases in 4 games. That's the list.
Wow.
Willie Mays, Eric Davis, Shohei Ohtani, Ronald Acuna Jr. And Diesel, we know it's all about health with this guy. It's all about health. I am willing to go as far to think, and I don't think this is a option, but I'm willing to go this far. I think if Shohei Ohtani DH'd the rest of his career and never played outfield, I think he could put up Ohtani-like numbers. It's just all about injury. Yes, being a good outfielder is super important. You got to have that guy. We all know that. But this guy is so good. When he's this good at the plate, there aren't many players in baseball that can do what he does.
The funny thing is, he's not built like a home run hitter. He's not built like a power hitter. He's 6 foot 205.
Yeah.
He's kind of a small guy. But he's got power, man. He's got pop. And I would love to have that conversation with Ronald and find out, hey man, how much do you love playing outfield? How much do you have to play outfield for this team? I mean, let's be real. Do you have to be in the field? Because the likelihood that you get injured obviously is way up if you're out there running around, cutting, making explosive movements. But we can keep you healthy and keep you on this team and just have you stroking home runs. That's what we want from you.
So the Braves win another series over the weekend. Braves fans, if you're out there listening on this Monday afternoon, want to hear from you at 844-326-3663. The Braves are off today, and the Braves did lose yesterday 6-4 to the Reds. But the name of the game, Diesel, is winning series. They did that. They won game 1 8-3 on Friday, won game 2 5-2 on Saturday. And they lost game 3, like I said, 6-4 yesterday. They are now 40-20 on the season. The Washington, look at this movement. Washington, Philadelphia, jiving back and forth for second place. Washington now in second, 9 games back behind the Atlanta Braves. It was 8.5 with Philadelphia just a couple days ago. It even got up to 9.5 Diesel over the weekend. So creating that separation in the NL East, the Braves are continuing to do that.
Can we just have those two teams play each other every day? The Philly and Washington? Somebody's got to lose. Somebody's going to get pushed farther and farther back. They're 2 mediocre to good baseball teams.
Yeah, and they're average teams. Strider wasn't great yesterday. I don't think it's like too big of a concern, but the Reds got on the Braves pretty quick, and they put pressure on them. Obviously, Ronald Acuna on the first pitch of the game sent the Braves up 1-0, but Strider wasn't great. Again, I'm not throwing up the panic flag or anything quite yet. He pitched 5 innings, 7 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 2 base on balls, 8 strikeouts. Not god awful, but it was a 3.77 ERA, and then the bullpen came in and wasn't great either. Fuentes gave up an earned run. Dylan Dodd gave up an earned run. And then to close it out yesterday, Diesel, you saw Reynaldo Lopez come in, 1 inning pitched, allowed 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. He was pretty good. But Spencer Strider coming back off an injury, you do give him a little grace in these type of situations.
Do you feel like they rushed him back a little bit?
I think getting experience is important.
He can go throw AAA games where he throws 2 innings, but that's not the same thing as pitching in a major league game where you're expected to go at least 5.
I guess the way I'd put it is I'm okay with the bad games like this if it's not a trend, you know.
Yeah.
And it was reported by Mark Bowman of MLB.com earlier. Speaking of pitchers, Diesel, and coming back, Hurston Waldrop pitched around 2 walks as he threw 2 scoreless innings. He began his rehab assignment with the Florida Complex League team today. Rehab assignment can last a month. So with Waldrop coming back to the pitching rotation, you're probably looking at late June. He had surgery back in February, if you remember. And Drake Baldwin, if you want to update on him, he suffered a grade 1, this is old news, but he suffered a grade 1 oblique strain that was 2 weeks ago. It usually requires a full month of recovery. Not an injury you want to rush, Diesel, when it comes to the oblique strain, especially with catchers. If you remember, Braves fans, Brian McCann rushed back too soon from an oblique injury in 2011. So, yes, you want Drake Baldwin back, and I think it's looking as if it might be late June. So let's say a month. Let's say, Braves fans, you have to go another month without Drake Baldwin in the lineup.
Well, oblique, that's a tough one because everything you do on a baseball field uses that outer core. I mean, that's swinging a baseball bat. That's ripping those shoulders through the zone. That's
the catchers.
As a catcher, you got to get up. You use that all the time. No, you don't want to rush that back.
Don't want to rush it back.
It's unfortunate, right? You don't want to have that kind of injury take a guy that's hitting as well as he was out of this lineup. But with Spencer Strider, I just remember the last time he pitched, which was about 10 days ago or so. Didn't he give up home runs on the first 2 pitches of the game?
I can't remember if that was his last
leadoff home run and a second batter home run. And he battled back. He pitched well after that. So I think with Spencer, it's a little hit or miss right now. Maybe you don't expect him to go as deep in games. I don't know.
And you know what I love, though? Look, baseball is all about upside. And if there's an old Braves fan out there, they might not like this statement, but Diesel, Ronald Acuna Jr., I think he's the best player to ever wear a Braves jersey, ever. And there's been a lot of good ones. And my personal favorite always has been and always will be Chipper. That was so many people's favorite. Mm-hmm. But I just think when you look at what this guy has the ability to do, I think Ronald's the best to ever wear a Braves jersey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good question because I know we got a lot of Braves fans. A large percentage of our Tolos are Braves fans. Not all of them, but a lot. Mm-hmm. Who is the best player of your era when you were like coming up watching Braves as a kid? Because for me, Chipper. I'm thinking like Fred McGriff. I love the crime dog, Fred McGriff.
Yeah.
I loved him. He had a heck of a swing.
Yeah, mine would be, and I think I would say, depending on when you talk about those years of era,
yeah,
I would imagine Chipper's a popular answer.
Sure.
But there's some good ones out there. I just think like when you look at this potential that Ronald has, he's unique. You don't get many players. You don't get many Shohei Ohtanis. You don't get many Ronald Acuna.
In your opinion, would the Braves get enough value out of him to pay him what he wants and just have him DH?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, it is. That would be that'd be I know. That'd
Keep
be a tough
him and sign Mike Trout.
Yeah, it'd be a tough pill to swallow, wouldn't it? The Braves back in action real quick tomorrow, Tuesday, and they are a 7:15 first pitch hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm ready to go back to a game. I'm ready to go to a night game, though. I went to a 4:00 game last weekend.
Ooh.
Bryce Elder, getting back late if it's a night game.
I was just thinking of the heat.
Well, yeah, it's pretty. You know what? 2 Saturdays ago, and we wasn't too bad.
Where did you sit though?
Which time? Which inning?
Well, when it
no, back up. Where did the seats that I purchased or the seats that we sat in?
Where did you actually sit? Because I know for a fact, I messed up here. I messed up. I know for a fact that down the left field line for a day game is awful. It's absolutely awful.
Yeah.
It's in the direct sun. It is so hot.
Well, the seats I purchased were in the outfield.
Okay.
the seats we sat in were pretty close to the Braves dugout. Yeah.
Nice. Did you purchase an upgrade?
No, we just got lost.
Did you tell the usher it was your birthday and he brought you down lower?
No. By the way, Bryce Elder on the mound tomorrow versus the Blue Jays on Wednesday. For the Braves, it'll be Chris Sale. So you've got Elder on Tuesday, Sale on Wednesday, and then Thursday against the Jays, you'll have Grant Holmes. I like that a lot. I like that pitching rotation. And then looking out toward the weekend, Friday, the Braves host the Pirates. So you've got a couple of home series here, and I like the matchup, especially against the Toronto. We cannot lose to a team from another country.
No,
we can't do that.
America, especially in hockey, has been victimizing the nation of Canada. So let's keep it going.
That's right.
Cole, maybe this is a question we bring up on the show tomorrow in like prime time as we get into the show tomorrow early. What kind of sports fan are you? Are you the type of sports fan that buys a ticket and then sits in your ticketed seat no matter what?
Like you should be,
or
right?
are you the type of sports fan that will buy the cheap seat and then just keep bouncing around to try to get a better and better seat?
Can you wait till the day when I'm not on the show to do this, please? Can you wait till I'm gone?
We'll ask the Tolos that tomorrow. But when we come back, Cole, what does it mean for the NCAA if a partisan judge, maybe a partisan is not the right word, but a local judge votes against the NCAA when it comes to being able to enforce its own gambling rules? The Brendan Sorsby story is back in the news. We'll chat about that to close out the hour next. Cole, when we allowed a Mississippi judge to be the one ruling on whether or not Trinidad Chambliss would be eligible to play this year?
What was wrong with that?
Methinks there might be a little bit of a conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. And for some reason, Cole, the NCAA is battling this Brendan Sorsby reinstatement case in Lubbock. So, like, when you've seen movies, you know that if there is a substantial local interest in a trial, normally you move it out of that area. I forget what the term for it is.
It's
you find it like an alternate venue.
Change of venue. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that with the Murdaugh trial.
Yeah. You go a couple hundred miles away so that you don't have people who know the defendant in the case. Yeah. So why are we letting a Lubbock judge who very well could be a Texas Tech alum? I mean, why else would you stay in Lubbock, Texas? Why are we letting them decide whether or not Brendan Sorsby should be reinstated to play this year?
It's government. I mean, you kidding me? You surprised by that?
I mean, we know judges are no longer impartial anymore. Judges do what their college football programs tell them to do.
Yeah, you know what? You would think, though, all kidding aside, you would think that the example you brought up in Oklahoma or in Mississippi would be like a deterrent, maybe a warning for those that are battling with this. I mean, I guess the question is this. You want to know an answer? Whose is it to say? Whose is it to decide it? Are we going to leave it up and trust the NCAA? Whose decision is it?
So the NCAA and Cole, the judge, I'm just looking at this on ESPN.com. It says the fate of Brendan Sorsby's college eligibility will be decided in the near future. There was a 2-hour hearing earlier today in Lubbock County District Court. The NCAA effectively argued, Cole, that no sport has ever allowed athletes to bet on games that they are playing in and allowed them to continue playing the sport. In no sport has that ever happened.
Okay.
And now we have a potentially partial Lubbock judge deciding whether or not the NCAA can keep student athletes out who gambled on their own teams.
Sure.
And think about the extreme overarching consequences if they decide that Brendan Sorsby is eligible. Well, you cannot enforce gambling at all because any player can gamble on any team whenever they want to, so long as they don't use inside information to affect their decision, I guess.
And that's what it all boils down to. Look,
When it's your team, how do you not?
I understand. You're right. You don't. But here's the thing. You have to throw away the key on this one. Lock it, throw away the key. You have to, because you're right. If you don't, it's going to only get worse. You're setting yourself up, and having it in Lubbock, not a great strategy there, Cotton. Not a great strategy.
Not good.
Hate to see it, but are we surprised by it? You surprised?
No, not at all.
Not surprised?
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Nothing surprises with the
Why don't you
NCAA.
just ask the football coach if he should play?
Yeah, ask, can his parents, is his dad a judge by chance? Oh, it just turns out his dad's a judge. That's good. We'll just use his dad to be cheaper. Hour number 4 coming up next right here on the Fan Upstate.